Hello, and welcome. It's 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in beautiful Lafayette, Indiana, where it's 44 degrees and sunny. Traffic and weather on the twos every 10 minutes. For the next 12 days in a row, we expect every day to be above freezing here. That's quite a nice thing. Hey, the convoys ended early. Yeah, one of them ended early already. There was a foul order at a truck stop. Odor? Why is that? The road check's on the way. And not the kind of check you want to take to the bank. They're going to drug test oral fluids, which I thought was a weird way to put it. If you have a 2019 International, they're recalling it for a weird reason. All right. And, of course, all the other things that we do here. Let's see if we can get up to where I need to be. There's that. Oh, that moves over here. This is here. All right. Welcome, everybody. Let's see what's going on. I had George H.W. Bush first today. Welcome. Trucker Hershey is here. Wilbon, 1879. Hello. Good afternoon. Market Trucking Answers fans. Keep on trucking and keep the great country rolling. We're going to try to. Joan Harper is here. Hello. What's going on? Roger Penske is here. Kelly Patterson, afternoon from Tonopah, Arizona. I don't know where that is. I think I've heard of that, though. The Grumpy Trucker, it's 52 in St. Louis. Yeah, not bad. It's going to be a great day. Great. I'll take the warm, dry air of Arizona. Kelly, nice. Yes, it is nice down there. Molotov Wieners. I wish I would have had a picture of that. I wish I would have thought about that. John Zablack. George Wilson's broadcasting from the hospital where he's on the roids. So nice. Got the roid rage going on there. Columbia, George, I'm unloading Acetone in the Rain. I'll check back when I'm empty. That was a great song, Acetone in the Rain. I remember that Acetone in the Rain stuff. I'll do that song later if you want. Trucker, she's going to have to watch the replay. All right. What's the entropy music from? What's entropy music? Like the end of the universe kind of thing? If you wear it, make it a parrot. All right, so let's do that. Always keep something on your head. Don't get a ticket. We still have people getting tickets for this. By the way, they'll fire you here. If you get a ticket for holding your phone, fired. That's a lot of companies. There's no reason for that anymore. Come on. Can't you just talk to your phone and use it? Is your IFTA sticker up to date? That's a good question. Did everyone update their IFTA sticker? I got mine early this year, which is surprising. Normally, they give me a paper that says, we got an exemption, then they have to get 6 more exemptions. But I got it on time this year. So yeah, I hope everybody's got their IFTA stickers. Usually, end of February is about it. They should do those in the summer when they'll actually stick on the truck. But what do I know? Where do I work? Well, that's a good question. And until they fire me, I don't like to say where I work. So that's pretty good. Unlike some drivers on here who get fired regularly for that, I try not to do that. Keeps them out of your videos. So that's always the recommendation. Also, don't recruit for them. You know, they get these big recruiting bonuses or whatever. But I think, if the place was better than it was, they wouldn't need that bonus. So let them go recruit for themselves. How about that? Al Johns here. Welcome, Paul Cruz. Good morning and good afternoon. Right, it's afternoon here, depending where you are around the world. Keltarusu Travels. Happy Roller Wiener Monday. Welcome. It's going to be a great day. Pat, preach it. Hello there. Funny, they're checking oral fluids at the manhole. Paul Harris. They've had a test there for a while. They do oral swabs there. It was a weird thing that they wrote that out like that you'll be able to, it'll be urine or oral fluids. And that's how they wrote it. I mean, there's a 30-day comment period for this where it looks like they're going to allow it for drug testing. And companies will be able to do either one. Oral fluid testing is $20 cheaper than urine testing. And they said they don't have the problem of a shy bladder. Also, they'll be able to watch people give it where they can't watch you in the pee-pee room. Unless you've got a previous problem of tampering or whatever, they can't watch you give the urine sample, right? And so, but they said, people are cheating. And I'm like, are people really cheating? Do they buy the fake pee-pees on the internet, which you can buy? Look it up. Does that really happen that much? Anyway, they think it does, so they're going to do oral fluid testing. I guess it'll be easier for them, so that's how to work. That should come up in the next couple of months as an official way to do drug testing. JL Travel, sorry I'm late. Well, welcome at any time. 60 degrees from Folsom Prison. Not bad. Not bad. Nice cool day in there. I've got body fluid they could test, but we'll need the head nurse to get it, Kelly. That's how it's going to be, too. I'm sure there'll be those jokes at the old testing facility. Oh, the music that you play over here waiting for you, that's free music from YouTube. I'll have to look up what the name of it is. But you can go to YouTube, go into your studio, and just go into the music section. There's all kinds of free music. I like to use their music because then you don't get copyrighted for it. So you go in there and just put down free as one of the drop downs, and you can use that music, and then there's no copyright on it. So that's the way I recommend. I'd have to get the name of it. You guys hear about that woman that had her own trucking company but got caught up stealing from UPS in Atlanta out of 2 stolen trailers? No, I didn't hear about her. What's the story with that? Just bought a 2018 RAV4. All right, Luke, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. What level of RAV did you get? Toyota's big on all the safety stuff. So does that, I don't remember if they did it in 18. Does it have the Toyota safety sense on it and all that stuff? Insurance companies like that stuff. I hope you got blind spot and all that. That stuff's really great on a car. And, Toyotas, although they don't announce this, usually if you click the lock button 3 times on Toyotas, they will auto start. That happens on a lot of them. Although it's not like a feature they promote, I think it's 3 clicks on the lock button and the car will start as remote start. So give that a try. Happy Monday, truck driving family. Paul, hello there. Glitter Sparkle, hey Mark, 2.9 million buck meth drug test. Looks like onions. Oh, right, the onions in the meth. I saw that. I mean, these things look like onions. And I don't know, when I was looking at bills and stuff, I don't know what temperature meth is supposed to be at. So that's the problem. Was this like a separated load? But if any of you saw that, these big containers full of basically white onions, and there were meth balls in there. And very clever. They made it look just like onions. And from a distance, if you just looked at it, it looked like onions. You couldn't fool the dog, apparently. He was sniffing it out. But it did. If you just looked in, you're like, oh, this is a bunch of onions. Except those onions are harder to peel. Jane Morrow, it's 74 in Tampa. Nice. Haven't been able to catch the show live for a couple of weeks. Been working overtime on a team in Teamsters Local 79. Also making OT good money for all your time. That's pretty awesome. I've had some really long overtime days, too. Wish it paid that way. So, we're running 8, 17 hours on a split sleeper to try to get back. Crazy. Anything on the convoy? Yeah, the one convoy, the 2022 trucker convoy to D.C., I think it was called, they canceled. They were down to 2 trucks partway across the country and said, you know what, we're out of here. The other convoy, the People's Convoy, apparently still rolling, 100 trucks, so they say. And that one's in Kansas or something right now, but the one convoy gave up the ghost on it. Spending on other people to get a job is weird. It is, except at the manhole. Took a dip in my pool yesterday. Nice, Paul. Nice. Full work feels like mid-spring here in Greater Sacramento. Oh, well, yeah, I bet. Sacramento. Took a dip in the pool. There are pools of water here where all the big piles of snow are melting, so it's almost like the same thing. Because they're tired of handling people's pee bottles. That might be it, too. They're like, they give you a bottle and they're like, bring this back. I'm like, how much should go in there? Usually they go as much as you could put in there. Rumors that when you do Mark After Dark, you're really hauling the mobile manhole unit. I do move it around. I mean, it likes to go, we like to bring the manhole on the road. That's, that's something that happens. Absolutely. Do not ever allow a butt check. Hey, you wait a minute. This didn't pass the FMCSA, did it? Greetings from Teamsters Local 162 in Portland. All right. Acetone on board for today in the rain. And I'm thinking, does that interact with water? But then I guess not. You got an XLD all-wheel drive, a blind spot, adaptive cruise. All right, so it has most of the Toyota safety sense. Try the remote start for that. A lot of Toyotas do that. It's like a known thing on Toyota. Click the lock button a few times and see if the thing remote starts. That is a thing with Toyota. They don't announce it, but that's the thing. If it doesn't, an XLE may already have remote start. But even on ones without it, try clicking the lock button. It's only a Toyota thing, and recent, probably 2015 and newer Toyotas. A lot of them do it. Do you hear about the new FMCSA regulations about x-rays, blood tests, and CT scans? Yes. So whether or not a company has to report an accident is determined by several factors, including whether the victim, the driver, had to get medical treatment. And so the question was, is an x-ray treatment or a blood test or a CT, are those treatment? And the FMCSA says they're not. And I kind of agree. The scan itself is not treatment. It's just a diagnostic tool. Like going for a physical. You're not being treated. But then another question, if you saw that on there, was, what if the person gets a prescription for anything, pain medication or whatever? Are they being treated? Yes, the doctor gave him treatment. But the x-ray is not really treatment. They're just looking inside you to see if you had a problem, and then the company won't have to report it as an accident. Believe me, they're going to report you having an accident, though. So if they didn't report it, you should report it to the FMCSA for them if they report you. That's what I think. Smash the like button. I appreciate that, Pat. Kelters who travel doctors say they're checking the colon cancer polyps, but they're just being pervs. Yeah, I mean, do we have to do this every month? And they're like, well, to be sure, we have to keep coming in. One of my favorite drives was along the Columbia River in Oregon. Yeah, you miss going out west after you don't go out there for a while. You're like, wow, I just see the same thing every day. I feel like some of the drivers in the convoy are just loving the attention. Well, there's not that many drivers in the convoy. The biggest one is reported at 100 vehicles, and most of them are pickup trucks. And, I saw some disappointing stuff in there. One driver was signing a flag for somebody. You're not right on the flag, okay? That's disrespectful. I didn't like it. Another driver had the flag draped over them as a blanket. You cannot use the flag as a blanket. It should always, a cloth flag or a flag meant to be put on a pole or whatever hangs free. Always is allowed to hang free. It isn't draped on you. It isn't clothing. You don't write on it. You don't sign it. You don't do any of these things to the flag. The flag is sacrosanct in that you don't do those things. You don't sign it. So I don't know how much attention they're getting because I hardly ever see them individually getting attention. Saw the People's Convoy and the Kilpatrick Turnpike in Oklahoma City yesterday. All right. How's it doing? How many would you say are there as opposed to the regular media, which hardly covers anything? New Jersey, you're under a travel restriction until further notice. I would say I would put New Jersey under a travel restriction saying I never want to go there until further notice. That's what kind of restriction should be over there. If you can smell it from the next state, you shouldn't go there. Flat Highway called the cops on a driver. Came back to the Loves with only one working brake. Really? Who comes to the... How do you know they only had one brake, by the way? Just curious. Dylan, how's it going? I'm late. Hey, going great here. 40 plus degrees today. It's all melty outside. I'm going to have to hit the car wash nearly every day this week. Chicken Hollow to skateboard. I'm about to go through Memphis, West Memphis. That should be fun. Lock your doors. Does anyone need the real deal from Channel 22? Channel 22. Keep your doors locked. And look at that bridge. What do you think? Is that bridge still cracked? Take a look at that while you're going over it. If you get time, James, try Jerry's Jet Boat rides in Gold Beach, Oregon. Jerry's Jet Boat. Summertime, it's 8-hour round trip. Wow. With a Class 3 Rapids. Wow, that sounds like a vomitous good time. Real deal is undercover police officer. Do not mess with him or talk to that clown. No way. No way. You just, to see if someone is an officer, I see this all the time. All you have to do is ask them. If they're police, they're not allowed to lie to you. It's against the law. You go, are you a cop? They go, no. You go, oh, thank God. Flannery, sorry for my ignorance, but how can you tell they have only one working brake? Yeah, I'm curious about that too. How did you know that? Are they all hanging down? I mean, I've seen trucks like that in pictures. Trucker Hershey, can you drive with the ABS light on? I see regulation. It must be installed and notify if not working, but it doesn't say it has to be working. Any informational light like that, the way I understand it, is points. So the light on the trailer, which is on a lot of trailers, depending on how old the trailers is and stuff. See, I don't go over any scales, so I have the benefit of this. All that means is your ABS isn't working. But I don't like the light on because that's like announcing you're going to be pulled over. So I unplug them. Because in the middle of the night, I can't get an ABS sensor thing fixed. So I unplug it. I've cut the wires before just so the light goes out. That's better than having the light on, I think. I think it should be fixed, though. It should be fixed, but I can't get it fixed at night. And I don't find that to be a problem as much as like a flat tire or something. Paul Kerr's backing up the like button. How come I'm only number 11? Should I be 111? I appreciate it. Just passed a Radio Shack in South Dakota. Guess they didn't get the memo. There's an open Radio Shack anywhere? You should have gone in there with some questions because they have answers in there. Hey, can I get a 3-thing transistor with 6 ohms? And they'll be like, oh, somebody that knows something. Remember the wall and Radio Shack in the back that had all the resistors and capacitors and everything? Oh, my gosh. Those were the days. I bought so many things at Radio Shack. New Jersey cities are crap, but rural areas are nice. Maybe not in a truck. Yeah, that'd be even worse. And plus, they don't know how to do corners. You got to turn right to turn left. What is that? And if the flag's flown at night, it must be illuminated. Yes. I saw a number of trucks in these convoys with the flag flying off the back of the trailer. I don't like it because the flag gets filthy. All right, and that's disrespectful. You know, people, and I get they're trying to be patriotic or whatever, but to be patriotic, you need to fly the flag in a respectful way. So you can't write on it. You can't have this filthy flag flying off the back of your truck, light it up, all that kind of thing. Silver, I have unlimited car washes for $40. Right, I pay $30 here for unlimited washes at Pop Wash. Recommended, but not sponsored. Pop Wash, 24/7 washing. $30 a month for the top level wash. Gives you the underneath spray, the waxy, the rain-exy, all that stuff. $30. And I'm in there a lot in the wintertime. You hear about the 2 people that got killed yesterday in Abilene and that semi slammed in the bridge. I did not see that. I saw a bunch of accidents, though. This one in Canada, 30 vehicles, half of them trucks in another storm. What are we doing? Drivers say, well, it's cars causing an accident. All right, I get that. Why are there 15 trucks in an accident? Why isn't it be spaced out? Space it out. Come on, space it out. So like 5 trucks and mostly pickups, they actually stopped in the middle of the lane, which I thought was smart. What are they doing? That's not going to get you what you want. 5 trucks and pickups and then stop in the middle lane. Come on. That we can't do. I griped at it when people were griping about the rates. We can't stop traffic like that. I'm in Jersey City right now. There's absolutely no travel restrictions. All right. Maybe there should be. Memphis sent some barbecue. Need drone footage vis-a-vis convoy. Yeah. There's really the convoy people. There's 1,000 trucks. But then I can't find any of that. You'd think they'd have their own footage of that, saying this is the lies that the press is putting up. But I don't find it anywhere. I'm like, send it to me. I'm having chicken strips for my only meal today. All right. From where? Or did you make them yourself? JL Travels, go to my travel where I covered that story and put the link in the description. It comes directly from the DOT. Sweet. Let your freak flag fly. That flag maybe doesn't have the same flag rules as a regular United States flag. I just was aggravated by seeing a guy sign it. You do not sign the flag. If the truck ABS is not working, it does not light up the trailer light. Just wondering if it's an out-of-service thing. I don't think it would be an out-of-service, no. But I think that it's supposed to be fixed, and I think it would be points, yes. If the ABS isn't working, the light lights up, right? And so you don't have ABS. But I'll drive without ABS. Many trailers didn't, we didn't used to have that. So, but I say it's point. So I kill the light, right? That's just what I do. And some of them are welded in there now or, soldered or whatever. So you got to cut that one. I'm not above doing that. I don't mind that. I can't stand this country and what it stands for. Hey, this is the best we're going to get in the world. Believe me, there's no better place than here. I've been watching some of the live stream and all they're saying the same thing. They want everything to go back to the old days. What does that mean? When I hear people say that, what does that mean? And which old days? 90s? 70s? 50s? Right? What are the old days that they're talking about? Good afternoon, GP Transco. What's going on up there today? Are you melting out of the frozen wonderland? It should be a mess up there, I'm sure, like here with the big piles of snow melting. Good morning, Mark and everyone. Dark, hey, what's going on? Manhole gives you an unlimited wash for less than 30, John. That's true. It's a hand wash there at the manhole, which is very nice of him. Quick public service announcement from GP Transco's coming up. All right. PSAs. He asked me to help him check his brakes. It's the only tire techs where the only brake he had was his right rear axle. I called him when he got on US 31. Hey, he goes, hey, all right, good enough. I got one. That's an out of service. One brake. Thank you for getting somebody like that off the road. I mean, come on. We cannot. This is the problem of mileage pay, I think. Although the driver shouldn't be doing things that are unsafe. J Trucking. I have unlimited washes from Let's Go for $29.99. Right. Top level wash. It's free vacuum, right? This place too, and free fresheners and all that. Yeah, this place is a self-service wash, but they're 2 auto washes. So for $30 a month, you get to use the auto wash. But then when you come around, it lets you into the self-service area. There's a dryer and then for your car, and then all the vacuums and everything are there, and you can use all that stuff too. Unlimited. It's got a tire air pressure thing, all that stuff. Yeah, Pop Wash over by Meyer. Anybody that lives in town. So I recommend it. They have a $20 wash also if you want to go on if you want to spend a little less money, they have an unlimited $20 wash as well. But that doesn't get you all the rain-exy stuff and all that. And I figure for $30 a month, that's a bargain, considering how many times I wash my car. I don't know how they make money. Let's see. They caught him outside of Indy. Good. I hope. Well, they'd put that out of service. No problem. We're working on an organization of a number of carriers for a mass donation to help the Ukraine for humanitarian aid. There are currently 10 carriers on board, donating $15,000 to $50,000 each. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. They need it. Putin right back where he came from. My chicken strips came from JC in the frozen section. Oh, all right. Is that a local grocery store or something? I never heard of that. They want to go back to 1792, like the real old days. Right back to the beginning. I had to make a delivery to a grocery store that was only big enough for a 48-foot trailer. Nice. One of these old stores. They go, hey, you can get it in here. No problem. You should get 5 feet from the dock and go, that's it. Yeah, back to happy days, the 50s. Boy, those trucks were great, weren't they? Without air conditioning. I drove a truck that was probably late 60s. It's probably the oldest truck I ever drove. It was a total disaster. So, and I had some early to mid 70s, like that GMC Astra I drove. Wow. I'm like, wow, I can't. Thinking back now, just driving the trucks now to then, thinking about that truck, I'm thinking, wow, those were some tough old people driving then. The old days are the 20s. They want to go back to the 20s. What would trucking have been like in the 20s? Pretty horrible? Yeah. In Phoenix, all you can wash, free clean microfiber. I would have to pay for the towel. The tire inflator with gauge, an excellent wash, plus air freshener and moist towelette for the dash. Wow, they give you all that. See, they have a machine for that extra stuff here. So I still think 30 is a good deal, even without that extra stuff, because, if you go in there, the wash is $15 for that level wash, each wash. I'm in there at least twice a week. In the winter, sometimes 5 times a week. So I get my money out of that place. I recommend everybody get an unlimited wash, unless you're just never going to wash your car and drive around in some dirt bomb. A local store, Kroger owns it. All right, so it's like Kruger here. Kroger, which is Payless. In town here, there's a few Paylesses. It's really Kroger. So that's just a Kroger also. Okay. How can companies afford to make large donations but can't give a raise? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that always interesting? I will say that people need it, though, so I wouldn't gripe too much about it. If I could go back to any, I would probably go to mid-'80s to early 2000s. Decent technology, but people still had character. The ATA opposed deregulation, so maybe they would like us to go back to, say, 1978. John M. Mark, when we had freezing rain, by the time I stopped, only my windows were ice-free, yet still saw trucks going down the road and cars and trucks off the road. Oh, yeah. That was a mess that day of ice this week. Where I did that and turned around and came right back. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I didn't understand people driving. Every 2 seconds, you're getting the traction light on the truck. I mean, can we just not have that happen? I'm praying for the Ukrainian people. They're good-hearted. And nobody deserves to be overtaken by another country. GP Transco, we give raises to our drivers. That's true, right? GP Transco raise. There are a lot of companies giving raises. By the way, one just announced, here's 60 cents base and 75 cents for teams, which is pretty interesting because an announcement, which was made, they made a big announcement. Where did this go? Oh, B&G. They're apparently in Alabama. They had a big announcement that they're giving the biggest raise in their history, and they're raising driver pay to 50 cents. They're raising it to 50 cents. That's their biggest raise in history at that place. Nice. Now they're finally up to 50 cents. Look out. There'll be drivers there making over $1,000 a week. Alexandra, sorry I'm late. I was getting Steak and Shake for lunch. Oh, nice. I don't like the fries, though. We got Steak and Shakes, but I just can't take the fries. Shoestrings? Ugh. Just not for me. If they had better fries, I might be in. Their milkshakes are really good, though. I thought we were in the 20s. Yeah, the other 20s. That's true. That'd be 1,000. Be 100 years ago. Before the original FMCSA. Raining hard up here in Spokane and the snow's melting off. The mask mandates are going to be lifted. I'll believe that when I see it. Good. Just don't follow them. Who's been wearing a mask lately? Anybody? 1920s trucking. I'd say it was pretty rough in those days. I bet that was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. Did they even have rubber tires yet? Maybe. As Carly Simon saying, these are the good old days. That's true. She ought to know. Trucking by horse and buggy like on Little House on the Prairie. Oh. You'd need a lot more drivers, wouldn't you? Because I can't imagine a buggy carrying, a couple of 1,000 pounds of weight. Old days back when Capone had the highest paying truck company. Yeah, but the drivers made good money, right? Just don't ask a lot of questions. Or she didn't have people smuggling drugs that look like onions. I-78 entire length from Pennsylvania border. Entire length 27, 287. Wow, what's going on up there? Russia and Ukraine are to blame. Nobody gets to blame for being invaded. Roads are closed. Well, time to park. Will there still be drivers out? Yes. Back when the engine brake didn't exist. Yeah, those were the days. They've come a long way too. As anybody that's been driving a while remembers, early engine brakes weren't super great. They weren't strong now. The engines didn't have a lot of power. So, when you're putting out that 300 horse Cummins and try to crank the brake up, not great. Roger Penske, when I'm in town, but Wash is so close, but I go every day. Yeah, so absolutely unlimited, right? Even, look here, it's $15 for the Wash. So even if you do 2 a month, it's worth getting the unlimited. It's the same price, so more than that. But I'm out there washing all the time. I don't like salt to eat the car away. Can you imagine driving twin sticks in the kind of trucks they had back in the day? No air and chain drive. Oh my gosh, a chain drive. I never drove that. I had a twin stick Mac for a while. There are people that have triple sticks. Dealers backed up for repairs. Yes, once at 7 days to look at it. If easy fix they do it, it requires wrenches March 21st. Others said 2 weeks to look at it. Wow. That's something. It's almost cheaper just to buy another truck. Steak fries for the win. Yeah, give me the big fries. Those little bitty fries they have at Steak and Shake. Come on, Steak and Shake. They'll probably never sponsor me, but look, their fries are tiny. I can't take it. Paul Cruz Quick Quack Car Wash, really? In Sacramento? Really? $24.99? As many cars as you add to your plan for $15, best deal, just like you use it several times a week. No manhole should be turned. You don't want to drive around with a dirt bomb. I agree with that, right? Keep it clean. $24.99 is a great price for unlimited washes. You just stop by anytime. I only do a car wash that's 24/7 because of getting off late. So you go in there at night, there's nobody there, no waiting, nothing. You can just roll right in, get the car washed, and come home easy. Flat tires on a flat highway, plus an extra car for $15, a super bargain. Super bargain. Especially in California, that's a great price. The Tomahawk. Congrats on the speaker gig at the truck show. You'll knock them dead. Just be yourself and can't fail. Well, I appreciate that. I hope everybody comes out to the truck show. I'll be there March 26th speaking on getting your logs basically right, especially using the split sleeper to maximize your miles while running legal. I got an hour, so I'll be super nervous. If any of you saw Airplane and Robert Hayes sweating, that'll be me out there. So it doesn't pay anything, just so everybody knows I'm not getting paid for it. I hope to see everybody at the truck show. Anyway, I'll be there most of the day Friday also, walking around and saying hello, and thank you very much for that. I eat steak fries and I eat nothing else. I'm just going to live on potatoes. We won't be making it at CFI. Look, I'm going to take them their old phone holder, I think, and say I want to exchange for the newest level. Got to go to Steak and Shake for the burger, then McDonald's for fries. Yeah, you need to stop at a few places. The burger's good there, but then those little fries. I mean, what are we doing here, Steak and Shake? It seems like you get more. I think that's why they do it, because you get this huge pile of tiny fries. It's Mr. Plows here. Hey, Mark, what's happening? COVID restrictions being lifted. Smell like midterms. Oh, yeah, elections are coming up. Right, so everybody's well again. Aviator trucker, when driving on snow-covered roads, leave the power divider on and automatic traction control off. Along as tires are close in size. Where did I go off to? I lost my spot here. Oh, between axles, which they should be anyways. You should have the same size tires, hopefully. A midlife trucker, Tom Bell. Goodness. Sorry I'm late. Here's the Wiener text. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't turn the traction control off unless I'm stuck. So I leave the traction control on and let the electronics do some of the work. But I'll run the power divider no matter what companies say. If I start slipping, that comes right on. No problem. Now, if you're going over 35 or so, you could turn that off because, look, if you can go that fast, you probably don't need it. That's what I say about it. The 1920s, the golden age of the mom. Hey, everybody got paid. Those are the roads that are closed in Jersey because of the travel restrictions. I still say the whole state should be closed off to trucks. Although trucking companies probably wouldn't like that. I want life to be simple and enjoyable. Not all this supposed things that complicate life. We'll say taking care of like a horse or several horses to run your load is a lot of work to take care of a horse. You know, the truck can just sit there. You don't have to mess with it all weekend. Back when the engines didn't break. Yeah, the engines didn't break. That's true. You didn't have the problems that you do now. I'm surprised I haven't had any problems out of the sleeper in a while. We'll see. I'm sure that day's coming soon. Stanley Kuban, right. How'd that This Guy Trucks and Truckers coach situation work out? This Guy Trucks was on the show a couple weeks ago here. So trucking in the 20s, 30s, and 40s opened sea cabs. Wow. Watch a movie, They Drive by Night, Humphrey Bogart. Oh, I never heard of that one. I think during Prohibition, cocaine and morphine were legal. Really? In the 30s, we had 20s, 30s, we had those things legal? Maybe. No oral fluids test yet. Elliot Ness won't suspect a sweet old truck driver be hauling a bathtub gin. Yeah, Elliot Ness would never think that. Stanley Kuban. What are you referring to? Let's see. What do you hear about the FMC putting in that oral swabbing is allowed with drug testing with regulations? Yeah, they have a 30-day comment period about it out. And they're going to use oral fluids, which I think is a weird way to put it, but that's how they put it. Companies will be able to use either urine testing or oral fluid testing as drug testing for drivers. So, yeah, they said because too many people are cheating. And I'm like, are people pulling out the fake pee-pee? You can buy them online. Look them up. Look it up. I swear to you. And is that really happening that often? Because they can't observe you. So this way they'll be able to watch you, and it's faster. Because some people go there, or they'll call you for random, and you just went to the bathroom or something. You have to sit there. This will take time for that. It'll save time. John M. Oh goodness, thank you very much. That would be me through the wind last week. Holy mackerel, that was something. I have unlimited car washes in my backyard. I can wash anytime. John M. Well, yeah, I guess if you want to get out there. I mean, it's 10 below zero a couple weeks ago here. I'm not getting out and washing my own car. Freezing to death. I do my own waxing, but the car gets washed at the car wash. Airplane, the Battle of Nacho Grande. I remember Nacho Grande. Nacho Grande. I remember walking this in my truck going up to the Grapevine back in the day. You put it in low and let it roll. 1920s people, stockbrokers were flying out of high-rise windows. That was fun. Mine in Phoenix is like Quick Quack, but not that franchise. We have Quick Quack. I never heard of it. That's a clever name. All right, because duck or whatever, water runs off a duck, I'll take it. Here it's Pop Wash. There's a crew, which used to be Mike's here too, but they're not open at night for unlimited washing. So that's why I don't go over there. Pop Wash 24/7. Better for me. Back when sneaking food in the theater was a crime. Isn't it? You're still not supposed to do that, right? They want you to buy their $12 milk duds. COVID restrictions ended a long time ago for me. I do what I feel like and not what the government tells me. Yeah, I think we all got tired of it after a while and said, you know what? I don't think so. Nobody's enforcing anything here. You go to DQ Flamethrower Burger Steak Fries is awesome. I'm not a fan of DQ burgers, though. See, that's the other side. They forever burn them. They're overdone. You know, I just don't like them. DQ's, even, the Brazier, as I remember them, they've never been big on burgers. You go there for a blizzard. So now you got to go to Steak and Shake for a burger. I go to McDonald's for the fries. And then I go to DQ for a blizzard. By then, everything's cold. Or melting. Huh. In Wyoming now, connection is spotty. Oh, I bet. Chester's Chicken Potato Wedges rule. Oh, we don't have a Chester's here, though. I'd have to go. I think the TA has one at the 130. A war for us right now would probably wipe the slate clean of the train wreck of the past year. Well, wars do change things. Historically, war gives a boost. Must be a beacon of hope for the current administration. He goes, maybe we can go to war with everybody. I don't carry chains if it's that bad. I'm in a hotel. Do you not go places? Do they not dispatch to places where chains are required to be carried? That's the only reason most places carry chains. Have you heard about the driver who quit because he made too much money? Yeah, no. Oh, it's so much money. I can't take it. Roger Penske, will Mrs. Mark be accompanying you at the truck show? I hope she's in good enough health. No, she couldn't walk around the truck show. I talked to her about it. So, no. Offered to push her around? No. So, it'll just be me down there. Roller wieners need manholes. Exactly. It's like salt and pepper. Back to the early 60s where I lost my spot. When we can discover the Beatles and save Sharon Tate's life. Oh, if only, what was his name? Oh, Robert Wagner, right. I can't find a redeeming quality about any French fry. So, look, the Steak and Shake fries, if you've never been there, they're tiny. They're thin. Super thin. They're like shoestring fries. I don't like them at all. The man who handles that sort of testing, they do a lot of oral fluid testing there. Had that happen a couple times, Kelly. Go to bathroom, then get a phone call for an unannounced test, right? An oral swab would solve it. That's what they're saying. People get a shy bladder or they can't go when they get there. And this does solve a lot of those problems, and they can observe it. You can't bring in a fake mouth and have it inside your mouth, the way you can bring in a fake pee-pee and put it in your pants, which they sell. So there'll be somebody trying to sell a fake mouth. I don't know how that'll go. Automatic traction control uses brakes to stop a slipping wheel but can cause a skid. Learned this in ICE driver training in Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm a traction control person for the bad weather. Only turn it off for me if I'm stuck somewhere. I don't go to the movies. If you haven't seen Airplane, you should go get Airplane at the Blockbuster there and watch it. Oral fluids, anal leakage. They haven't said they'll be testing any anal leakage, but oral fluids is on the DOT site as something they're going to test. And I wrote that down. I'm like, oh, they wrote that down? Really? That's how drivers are getting tested moving forward. I covered that last week. Up to 72 subscribers and 162 videos. Nice. I'm still trying to grow my channel. Slowly but working on it. Slowly but surely wins the race, right? Urine testing or your intestines. Wow, that'd be a long swab. Somebody has to say it. Anal swabbing at the manhole. I wonder if they do any of that. Just got here. How are you, Roy? Hey, great. Doing great. After a couple long days last week, trying to recover from that. Yikes. I don't know how you all do it, to be honest with you. I mean, gosh, about killed me. DQ in Texas is good. DC burgers are unique to Texas, like the Triple Belt Buster and Triple Belt Buster. That sounds great. Is that like that place in, where is it, Vegas? Or, no, it's in Phoenix. The Heart Attack Grill? Yeah. Remember the billboard for Stuckey's pecan rolls? Always made me stop to use the restroom. Pecans. Are there any Stuckey's left? That'd be good. I haven't seen a Stuckey's in a while. It's probably by that Radio Shack. There's probably one. It'd be nice to have a fast food restaurant with the best of each brand's ingredients. Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we have like a Big Mac and like, steak fries there and stuff? We could do all that at once. Maybe the small fries help save manholes. I think they do it because it looks like more fries. So you can just pile them up. And it looks like you got a lot of fries. You hardly got any fries. You weigh them, they don't weigh anything. The wind blows them away. They're like fry dust. Joan Harper, I miss you there. I hope I wouldn't be the only female there. Well, you won't be the only female at the truck show. Okay, there are a lot of women drivers, and many of them come to the truck show. There'll be tons of women there, so don't worry about that. Will the manhole have a booth at Matt's? They will. They will. They will have coupons. If we could dispatch to California or Colorado, there's a few sets of brand new chains in the trailer. They're decorations. Oh, okay, so they're like, here, take a few chains. Take these chains with you. Nice. All right, because, they got to carry them. But I agree with you. Don't use them. It's that bad? Park it. Oh, my gosh. No one can drive on ice. That's why I went back that other day last week. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It took like 20 minutes to get these 8 miles. I was contemplating turning around at that next exit anyway, but then goofball head in the Volvo wiped out and made the decision for me. And don't do drugs. That's another good thing. I was just watching Airplane last week. Oh, hopefully unabridged, the uncensored version. Never watch it on like when they play it on TNT or whatever. They censor too much of it out. The jokes have to be, the jokes that were made with the movie. You haven't seen Airplane, Joan? That's something you need to do before the truck show. Along with the Out-of-Towners with Jack Lennon. I never saw that. Jack Lemmon? What's your vector, Victor? Hey, my dad saw... I saw you. My dad, I think you're great, but my dad says you don't work hard enough on defense. Kareem's like, well, what are you talking about? You tell your old man to bring these people up and down? Oh, my gosh. Tomorrow start orientation with S&S and horror stories. Really, where's S&S at? And why did you choose them? So you're going somewhere. Why did you choose that place over the really thousands of companies in the country or whatever? Why them? Does IFTA cover the DEF? I think the DEF somehow is on. They don't IFTA tax the DEF. Master's still required in schools in Washington State, but that's supposed to be lifted. Oh, nice. Everyone else, people are just done with it. Yeah, so they put it on kids who are the least likely to have any problems, even according to the CDC. But not everybody else who are more likely to have problems. Oh, that's brilliant. Follow that science. They're still Stuckies. Really? Where are they? The manhole blows the fries away too, I hear. They do. They have big fries there. But sometimes they lose all the potatoes. Where am I? I've been mass-free for 2 years. You missed all the fun. I don't know that company. Best wishes on your new career. I'm just curious why somebody chooses any particular company. I'm going here. Why? What did they say? What got you to go there? Pat, what is the manhole? Manhole is Lafayette's premier nightclub. It's downtown, entrance in the rear only. So, manhole. I'm down there on some Saturdays. I have a group where we do Village People cover songs. Small Freedom fries cook much faster than the Texas fries. All right. Oh, they might cook faster too. But I still think it has something to do with the amount, because it seems like more than it is. You're like, oh, look at all these fries, and they're all tiny. Are there any horror stories? Oh, my Tommy, you're going to start orientation. You already had your time to look for horror stories. What did they say to you, or when you talked to them, where you applied and said, all right, this is the place I want to work? When I drove, I never did tire chains. I'm not doing that to get out of a lot. If I put them on, they're staying on. Someone else could pull them off. George Wilson. I'll put them on, but you guys got to take them off. Joan, you'd make a bad ice road trucker where you drive with the chains on all the time. The Kentucky Lot Lizards will be at Matt's. Oh, of course. They have their own booth there, too. I think they have coupons. I'm waiting for the COVID test requirements to return back from overseas to end, so it'll be easier to come back from Nicaragua. I bet. Are you in Nicaragua now? And don't call me Shirley. Yes. Don't call me Shirley. We had the chicken or fish. I remember. I had the lasagna. Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive. Yeah, that was what's her face from Leave It to Beaver. If you don't remember that, I can't remember her name. Okay, boys, get some pictures. Let me take all the pictures off the wall. It's one of the best movies, certainly top 10 comedy movies ever made. The Kentucky Lot Lizards, yeah, they'll have a booth there. It's building after building of booths and booths. Everybody should go at least once, and this is the 50th anniversary. There should be everybody there. They haven't had it for a few years. It's happening this year. The guy wrote to me because I've been talking to him. He said unless Kentucky closes it, it's on. So let's see everybody down there. Airplane was hilarious. Naked Gun, also, of course, Naked Gun, also excellent movie. James Morrow, one of my favorite airplane quotes. Looks like I picked a bad week. Looks like I picked a bad week to quit sniffing glue. Yeah, oh, that guy in the up in the tower. I'll tell you what, 2 words, right? Municipal bonds, Ted. Right, Midlife Trucker, Eric Seek 4K dash camera for $99. That's not bad. I'll share a link and mark approve. Yeah, go right ahead. Almost all the dash camera videos on my channels are from Rexing. That's pretty good. $99 for that, right? Everybody should also run always a dash cam to save your career. It could, even if your company has a camera in there, you want your own footage. You can make you can make a brooch or a pterodactyl. I love where I'm at. They pay me for my time. Even on Friday when I was sent for a drug test, they paid $70. They should. You have to log it, by the way. It only took around 40 minutes. They're respectful, and I love my dedicated run. See, so they keep you there. And this isn't that much money. I mean, $70 for 40 minutes, yeah, that's like a lot of money relative to the time. But for a company, especially a larger place, that isn't a lot of time compared to what it costs to hire a new driver. That's the thing of it. So if they can spend a few bucks or whatever, you're like, oh, this is pretty good, you know? Remember, you do have to log that. Most people don't, and companies don't check it. I'm just saying it's legally logged time, so... Hey, Billy, you ever seen a grown man naked? You ever been in a Turkish prison? Oh, my gosh. Excuse me, does anyone on here know how to fly a plane? Airplane control, I picked a bad day to give up speed. Yeah, right. And he also said he had more sunglasses on. Do you like gladiator movies? That was Barbara Billingsley. That's right. That's her name. Right. And she was the mom on Leave It to Beaver. And she's the one that speaks jive on the airplane to those 2 dudes. And they're talking to her, and she's like, he said he'd like steak. And he's like, I'm not going to do herb rap. I know what she's talking about. And she's like, well, you don't need no help. You ain't getting no help. Jive turkey. And they're like, oh, holy mackerel. Oh, my gosh. Now, I'm back from Nicaragua, but it's a pain because Nicaragua only has one place to get the test in the country. Really? Is that $150 US? I assume the testing place is in the capital or like in a large city. What, only one place that they approve of? Wow. Is the food expensive? That's not bad at the truck show. I mean, there are several places in there that feed you, and you can also, it's Louisville. So if you don't want to eat at the truck show, like you're not going to be there long or whatever, you have the whole town to eat or whatever, that kind of thing. So, and by the way, there's a lot of free stuff in there. So I don't know about free food, though. It's not terrible. Best movie history world part 1. It's very good. It's good to be the king. You can't park at the Loves in Dayton for 10 days. Yeah, it always aggravates me. Every year for Bike Week, the Loves down there, which they announced again, they'll be very limited. They said overnight parking at the Loves for Bike Week. But you know what? The Loves is there for drivers, so I think I would keep the truck parking open for drivers. But that's just me. I don't run the Loves. Reno 911, I've never seen that. That's with Niecy Nash from my home improvement show. The West Memphis Lot Lizards Association, will they have a booth too? I don't know if they'll have a booth. And if you're interested in another company at all, many companies have booths. They have a whole recruiting room. You can just go booth to booth to booth to talk to places. Bing, bang, bong, all the way down the list there. Way faster than calling everybody. Is the merch expensive? No. A lot of stuff they're handing you. They get a bag when you go in there and just start piling things together. SNS has a local term in my town, one of the few not mega carriers accepting recent grads, decent paying trucks, and okay, didn't feel like, all right. Sexy talk in the 1950s, TV war, don't you think you were a little hard on the beaver last night? That's right. That was a good show. Blues Brothers, always excellent Chicago show. The Vexing V1 4K camera on Amazon, I can't believe they're only $100. These things have come way down. Whenever I see people without a camera, I'm like, what is going on? I mean, this is your career. Somebody accuses you of running a light, and by the time the police get there, the light's changed 40 times. There's no way to prove what happened. Unless there's some kind of camera on the street, you got to go get the footage. You're much better off having your own footage of everything each day. If nothing happens, you just overwrite it. Give me every light on the runway immediately. Put all kinds of lamps out there. Oh my gosh. I don't have a dash cam, I have a casting couch. That probably doesn't work as good for holding, in case the light's out, though. Indiana Lot Lizards offer discounts across the bridge from Kentucky to Matt's. They validate the toll. Yeah, for people coming down 65 from Indiana, there is a toll. I think it's $4.50 each way on the bridge. So if you want to sidestep that, you'll have to take some side streets. I'll hit the toll. There's no booths. So keep this in mind. They take a picture of your plate, and in about 2 weeks, you can go on the website for that bridge, which I can't remember the name of it, and there'll be a picture of your car, and you get to pay the toll. You have a couple more weeks to pay it. And believe me, it's a clear picture. They can see your plate. So, yep. Billy, do you like gladiator movies? Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop using meth. It's such a great movie. For people that haven't seen Airplane, I mean, it couldn't be any better of a movie. Surely you can't be serious. Who did not eat the fish? Would you raise your hand? I remember I had lasagna. Jim never has a second cup of coffee at home. He's drinking that next cup of coffee. Oh, and Leon's getting larger. That guy up in the tower, right? Turkish prisons are hot. I'll take a word for that. I picked Jim Palmer Trucking back in the day because I thought the black Pete's and trailers looked sharp. This was back when the old man still ran the company. It was a good outfit. That's always the thing, though. When a company is started by somebody like that, they have these nice trucks and stuff. It's usually a pretty good place. And then what happens? The person that starts it either retires or dies, and then the kids get it, or whoever it gets sold. And then that's the end of it, right? It's turned into a disaster. And that happens at many, many places. Back when Jim Palmer ran it, it was a good place, right? Is it paid parking? No. Oh, wait a minute. I think it is paid parking. To be honest with you, I have to think about that. Yeah, you go to a booth to get in, so I think you do pay to park. I'll have to look into that. All right, maybe you do. Maybe it's $5 to park your car in there. It seems like you got to go to a booth to get in there. I see it's been a couple years since they've had the show, and I didn't think about it. I think you do pay to get in. I miss riding on the Crackhound. There's plenty of companies that would like to give you a ride, especially to the Salt Lake City area. Flat Highway, I can fly a plane. It's easy to get up and turn on the autopilot. Yeah, I wish it was that easy. The Harley Davidson owns the land where the Loves is at. They put in the contract during Bike Week they'll use the parking lot. Oh, all right. So the Harley Davidson owns the land and they're leasing it. All right, well, then they're stuck. Okay, fair enough. Isn't OJ an Airplane? Yes. Right? Doesn't OJ in that movie? He's in one of them. Isn't he running through the airport or something? No, he's in Naked Gun. More than two shakes and you're playing with it. That's not in that movie. My first link I screwed up. This is it. Okay, here's the Rexing link. Looking forward to the Roller Wiener Appreciation Society offered without salmonella this week only, just for 1 week. Only for the first week. The test is in the capital city. It's run by the government. It's 150 U.S. That's socialism, exactly. And you have no choice, right? Because you can't leave without it, without a negative test, and you have no choice but to pay it. Sweet. Well, it's still nice weather. I bet the weather there in Nicaragua today is warmer than it is right here at World Headquarters. It's called the Lewis and Clark Bridge. That's right. Even though Lewis and Clark never paid the toll on it, I will be paying the toll on it. Don't Harper, they'll suspend your license and registration until it's paid. I agree. I go out and pay it. I do pay it. Okay, and the first year I went, I thought, oh, I wonder. So I went on to look at the plate to see, is this a clear plate? It's clear. Let me tell you what. They have like a 80 billion megapixel camera or whatever, and that plate is super clear. There's a wide picture of your car, and then there's a close-up picture of your plate. So it's a clear plate. So pay it. Pay the toll. There are no booths. There's only way to pay it is online. You can buy a sensor thing for your car to get a discount, but I don't take the bridge, but only for the show. Right, those two kids. May I sit here? Oh, I take my coffee like my men. Black. That girl, she's like 10 years old. Airplane. Maximum overdrive, 2 trucks versus DC. That's how the convoy is going right now. The first convoy petered out. Peter built it out because we're down to 2 trucks. So the People's Convoy is still going. Don't know what's going to happen with that. They call it 700 National Guard troops. So there'll be like 10 per person that shows up. And they put all the fences back up in Washington, D.C. The lights along the reflection pool look like Biden's outstretched arms ready to embrace America. Really? Oh, that's nice that they did that. He's America's truck driver, by the way. The little girl sitting behind the boy gets drinking coffee. I like my coffee like my men. Black. Yes, the girl. And he's like, that kid. They're like 8 or 10. I drove for the skunk years ago. Dick Simon. How was it? See, that should have been fine years ago also. Without, when they first started. Right now, it's hard to get a rental car for one-way, a midlife trucker. Yeah, I've heard that from some companies, that they just can't one-way rental cars right now. There's no way to do it. They could Amtrak. I'd rather they did Amtrak. Look, I don't ever want to see a company using Greyhound. I just don't want to see it. Because it's just, they wouldn't do it with their executives. Think about that. And so they wouldn't do that. What they could do is give you a rental car round trip, so that you could get back home to collect your belongings or whatever, because if they had an executive that was going somewhere around the country, they'd either fly them or do something else to get them back. So I just don't want to see Greyhound being used. No matter, they can't have an excuse of we can't get a rental car. They should buy a car or pick you up or have a truck pick you up, something. What time do the doors open on Saturday? I think it's 10 a.m. or the hours. 10 a.m. So I get an hour 15 to sweat it out before I get up there. So I'll be there Saturday at 11:15 a.m. on the Pro Talks floor. The Pro Talk stage on the main floor in the East Wing. And we're going to be talking about maximizing your hours to get the most money, in the time allotted legally. That's what we're going to do. And that should be a lot of fun. And by the way, somebody sent me a message that Kevin Rutherford got fired off of satellite radio. Does anybody hear anything about that? I looked up high and low, and I don't see that anywhere. So I'm not sure about that, because they have a booth there, and we may go talk to them about that open slot. Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Sam, delivery, then drop and hook in Dallas. Now going to Denver, then home. All right, and then to the truck show. Snakes on Plane was a good movie. I never saw that one. Airplane 2 is really good, but it's a shuttle to the moon. It's not as good. It's still okay, not as great. If I wanted to, I could park overnight at the Loves in Daytona, but I drive for Loves and wouldn't during the bike week. That area's a madhouse. Yeah, how do you get in and out of there? You got to bring all that motorcycle fuel in and stuff for that. How about the scene where Reef's late the autopilot? Yeah, the autopilot. Every driver needs to learn to ask a lot of questions before going into orientation. I don't understand. Look. And this person's already going to orientation. But once you're into orientation, you're like, I'm going to come and work here. You can't then be like, oh, I wonder if this is a good place. You got to ask 1,000 things, before we get to that point. And the truck show is actually a good way to do that. You can go down and go booth to booth for the day and ask 100 places questions. There's like 1 million cameras on there. Yeah, and every one of them is like the best camera ever made on that bridge. They're super great pictures that come out of there. I wish they put those cameras on ATMs, because when the police release a picture from this person was stealing from an ATM, it looks like it was a camera, a flip phone from 40 years ago that they taped to the thing. I'd love to run through a traffic camera with duct tape over my plate and let them try and find me. You could, I always thought about that years ago, going to Radio Shack and getting a small motor that would lower the plate this way, down towards the ground. And so you would hit a button on the dash and would lower the plate, and you'd go underneath the camera, and then you could raise the plate back up and you wouldn't get ticketed. Never did it. Thought about it, because I used to go into Chicago every day, so I'd pay all those tolls. But I didn't do it. Mark, congrats on your speech assignment at the Matt Show. Well done. I put that to everybody here. I did ask people to write in, and a lot of people did, and I appreciate it. It amazed me when he's like, "Yeah, we're going to have you come down and talk here," and I'm like, "Really?" I can't believe it. Like, who am I to come and talk at Matt's? Now, I'm not speaking to everybody. I don't want people to think that 72,000 people are going to come and hear me. The room that I'm in has 60 seats, he said, and standing room. So I hope at least one person sits down somewhere and comes to listen. So we'll see what happens with that. So if not, same speech goes out, one person or 60 or none, right? Everybody gets something, but that's the story. The Pro Talks stage apparently has 60 seats. That's what he said. Amtrak is horrible. Midlife Trucker, the wife wants to take Amtrak to Seattle and back to see the country that way. So some years she will do that. I think Amtrak would be better than a Greyhound, especially if you had your own room. Power H convoy must be coming down 44. Tons of people on side road with flags and such. Yeah, I think they are, and they'll cross on to 70 in Missouri, I think. I like my coffee shaken, not stirred. Shaken. Remember the Dick Simon trucks? Didn't they become Central? It was some kind of deal with Swift or Central or something. Yeah, and now you don't see them anymore. Every once in a while, you'll see an old trailer that still has the skunk on it. What mountains are like flying over Iowa? What time does the door open on Thursday? Thursday is noon? But Thursday is basically a media day where everything just gets set up. And so I don't necessarily recommend Thursday. And you can go Thursday, of course. But I don't know that there's a lot going on. And it's like noon to 4 or noon to 5 on Thursday. But Friday, Saturday are the two big days. 10 to 6, I'm going to say each day, 10 to 7. Both Friday and Saturday. And those are the 2 days. Saturday's the biggest attended day, too, because it's the weekend. So they stuck me on the day where more people are going to be there. They're like, hey, you're going to come in? We're going to throw you right into it. So that should be really something. John, I live there, Mark. Southbound 65 is the Kennedy. Northbound is the Lincoln. Lewis and Clark is on 265. The 2nd Street Bridge is free both directions. Yeah, you can take a free bridge. I take the 65. I just go right over and paid my toll and did it. Amtrak, no, just take your big rig. Well, I'm not too bad about a company that's saying, hey, we'll pick you up and bring you down here in one of our trucks. I think that's better than Greyhound, especially for long distance. Look, I get it. Say you lived here and you had to go to Gary or something. All right, it's a couple hours on a bus. It's one thing, which they could then go get you. If it was only a couple of hours, they could send somebody from the office to go get you. That'd be nicer. But I had a letter from a driver who went from Virginia to Salt Lake City on the Greyhound. I mean, seriously, it's 3 days on the Greyhound. There's no excuse for that. Do you think Biden still has a CDL? I'm sure. I mean, he knows everything about trucking that there is to know. Cheeseman flies so how than a local rental car. Sometimes they have a driver take them in a truck if coming from Indiana. I think that almost anything is better than a Greyhound for a driver, because I have yet to find a company that's ever put any of their executives, vice presidents, salesmen, anybody that they send somewhere to go do training, work, or whatever on a Greyhound. I just don't ever see that. So if they can figure it out for other people, they can figure it out for drivers. The autopilot gets a big grin on his face. He turns around with a grin on his face. Why is there only small truck companies on YouTube that show how to be an owner-operator, but no mega carriers doing this? Because they just slap you into it. They go, hey, why don't you just be an owner-operator? And people are like so gaga to do it. They're like, oh, okay, I'll immediately do this. I'll just be an owner-operator. Pigpen afternoon all. I saw something rare a couple weeks ago going through Wisconsin. A 1,000,000-mile driver from DeBoer. All right. That's good. All these companies, no matter what, we make fun of them, usually Swift because they have more trucks. They have a many million-mile drivers that are safe drivers as well. They just don't get the recognition because they're at a company that doesn't have a good rate. So congratulations to that driver. CRST sent a driver because he already used his grant to get his CDL. Flat Highway sent a driver to do what? Hey, Joan Harper, the dispatcher that fired me in November for not masking got an award for February for best employee. That's nice. See, they go, hey, this person is doing good here. How do you know that? You should send him an email. Just married is a dead giveaway. ID theft is real. My brother David had his ID taken, so now he's just Dave. They took his E. I take that bypass bridge around Louisville, and they send me the bill in the mail about 2 weeks later, maybe a little longer. Yeah. I don't know about them mailing it. Maybe if I didn't pay it, they would mail it to me, I guess. But I go online and look for it, for my plate, to just pay it and be done with it. Because, like John said, they'll suspend your registration for that. And we don't want any kind of license issues, so I willingly pay it, no problem. A lot of Walmart drivers are past about the 1 cent raise at some DC, so now several drivers are talking about quitting. Really? 1 cent raise? A raise is a raise. Why are people mad about a raise? Not enough of a raise, I guess? What they could work at K, what is this place here? B and G, where they're up to 50 cents. Up to. Now we give a raise and everybody's going to get 50 cents. I spoke to a CRST rep and now I get calls from all the crap companies. That's because they sell your information. Walmart or Western called me and told them I have an impeccable driving record and I have never been to prison. They go, forget this. You're not our kind of driver. Because they know you wouldn't stay there. I remember my parents' 1980 Regal had a flip-down license plate to get the gas cap. That's true, right? And that's why I thought about it. The plates flip down on a lot of cars. I had many cars. You would flip the plate, and that's where you filled the car up with the gas. So if you could automate that with a motor from Radio Shack, which is certainly possible to do, put a 9-volt battery back there and run a wire up to a switch on the dash, you could have bought all those parts at Radio Shack, flick the switch down or up. It should put the plate down. It should. You just take the springs off of it because those springs were pretty hard and let the plate fly down. Yeah. There's a trucker rigged up his plate to lower. He was crossing the George Washington. He got caught. I think some jail time. Yeah, because he had a string. I remember seeing that. If it's the same picture, there was a string from the plate that went up into the cab. He fugazied the thing in like the cheapest way possible with a string. So when he let the string out, the plate would just flop down. I mean, come on. You got to be a little bit more clever about it. And it is illegal. Right. Totally illegal. I'll be there listening. I'll be there listening, God willing. All right. Come on over. I appreciate it. At least there'll be one person. I'd appreciate at least one person sitting there. Believe me, one person. Random thought, are they going to let you go live when you're on stage? I don't know. I wrote him an email about that. I said, can I record myself? It wouldn't be live. Because I don't know how I would mic it. But I wanted to record myself, and then I thought, I don't know how I'd mic that either. So I'm not sure about that. I can't run a mic because I got a cord. And I want to be able to move around and stuff. And I have to get a cordless mic, which I don't have. So, because I want to be able to move around. Because, I was thinking about doing part of it, at least an interpretive dance. I mean, I think that's the best way to get information out to people. People don't realize the power of a good interpretive dance. So with the corded mic, that'd be a problem. So I may be able to record it. Hopefully, if one person comes, they can take a picture of me and send me that picture, and then I'll have a picture of me there. So at least that. Kelter Rooster Travels training a lot of new drivers the company won't be using as a huge side business because of government grants. Oh yeah, they love it. And then they make you stay a certain period of time, so they make a profit on you, and then out you go for the next one. Well, are you going to broadcast live when you start your talk? I don't think so. Like I was saying, I don't think so. Because that's there, and I only have a corded mic. I just don't think that would work out. I saw the People's Convoy on Saturday going through Amarillo. I'm glad I got to see it. Okay. All right. How many people would you say were there? Since you saw it, total vehicles, and how many of them were semis? Dark 688, I've driven trucks 20 years and never had the opportunity to drive a twin stick. Would love to learn to try it. All right. Not the Mac I had, not too complicated. So you just don't have a button for high and low, really. That's how ours worked. So hitchhike is better than the dirty dog. Yeah, I mean, you'd rather hitchhike. If you're close, I don't know why companies don't go get you. All right. If you're within 100 miles, they should send somebody. We'll have somebody pick you up and bring you here. What about that? And if longer, they need to figure it out. because they don't send their people on a Greyhound once they're there. You should also always get your own room. No matter what you're doing, you get your own room. If you got to stay because the truck's broke down or something, you don't share a room. You don't share a room in orientation. You don't share a room after orientation. You get your own room. This isn't Boy Scouts. I saw a skunk trailer on 15 last week going to Salt Lake City. Oh, nice. I haven't seen one with the skunk still on it in a long time where it's actually still on there. What's a skunk trailer? Old Dick Simon trailer. What kind of truck driving did President Biden do? I thought he drove a small city cube truck. I don't know. I mean, he says, they say he was a truck driver, and that's good enough for me because politicians never lie. So once Jen Psaki said it, I'm in. I'm totally in. So absolutely. I think he drove more than Elvis did. He drove a Tonka truck. Ironically, that truck would still be working today. James Bond's car did that with the plate. Yeah, it had different plates. That the benefit of, there were like 4 plates. It would rotate around on his Aston Martin. And you could rotate it. But I only had 1 plate. But for basically $8 at Radio Shack, you could construct a small motor with a 9-volt and a couple wires to a button. And you could buy all those parts at Radio Shack. Just run the wires right up into the car and a switch. And just lower the plate. The plate should drop down. And because the camera's above. So the plate's facing down. No picture. Flip the plate back up. There's more to compensation than cents per mile. Talk to drivers. Look at year-to-year date, divide by the number of weeks, and multiply by 52. 53 Saturdays this year. Oh, yeah, cents per mile, that's true. So 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents is 2 different things, 3 different things. That's true, but at some point, the cents is so low that you have to create so many miles for yourself that you're doing more work than somebody else. I like to look and see how much do you actually work to make that much money. So you make X dollars. How long did you actually have to work to do that kind of money? That's the thing about it. My truck has been down for a month. Wow. Waiting on a national back order part. Wouldn't be in this mess if a mechanic didn't strip the part. Okay. Did they give you another truck to drive at least? I mean, holy mackerel. My abandoned recovery truck had a dirty dog living in it. Really? Is there a dog in the truck? I had dinner with Simon Transport owner's daughter. When? Recently? Paper Transport has been good to me as an SS rookie. Rental car, flights, solo hotel room. That's the way it should be, right? So you start out good. You're like, all right, this place is going to treat me right. That's exactly right. Rental car or some way to get you there if they can't get a car. Something. Not the Hound. And your own room. They can't grab about the room. They can get you your own room. I'm coming. What color tomatoes do you want me to throw at you? That's funny. It's funny that you say that because when I got that email, I told the wife and I said, I need to put a thing in there where people are frisked for tomatoes before they can sit down so that I don't get pelted with tomatoes during my whole talk. That's funny because I said that to the wife. She's like, yeah, probably true. Young Sheldon was brought up from Radio Shack. I was in Radio Shack a lot. I went in there every month. I got my free battery. I was a Radio Shack fanatic. Haven't we learned yet that Hollywood are delusional people? I don't know about that. I think those are the best people. I mean, they're Hollywood people, so we have to listen to what they say. Biden over JB Hunt, he thinks the JB means it's Joe Biden Hunt. Free battery every month. The trucker, Hershey, yeah, I had the Battery of the Month Club. You would go in and just ask for it. You got a card, and they punched it every month, and you could get a C, D, AA, AAA, or a 9-volt of the Radio Shack brand and 1 battery. And I would get a 9-volt every month, and it went into my bike radio that I bought at Radio Shack that went on your handlebars of your bicycle. I put that on my Schwinn and would listen to WLS. This guy truck sold his ProStar. Good. And talks about going lease purchase. I mentioned you and Smart Trucking and what your views were on lease purchase, but he wants to do it anyway. I'm sure people want to do it. Right now, 2019 International is being recalled. If you have a 2019 International LT, it's on a recall. Contact your dealer. Because, why? Some serious safety thing? Yes. The reverse light is not the right shade of white. It does not meet the marking requirements of reverse lights. The white is not the correct white, I swear to you. And because of that, it doesn't meet the requirements and it's being recalled. They will inspect your reverse light and check it for whiteness. If it is not the right shade of white, they will replace it at no charge. Would you rather take the Sierra England 3-bunk truck full of people or ride the Greyhound orientation? Yeah, see, that's the thing. They shouldn't be riding with a 3-bunk truck either. You know, if they want to pick you up, I could almost see that with another driver, another single driver that they pick you up with. But, you know, if they need you, they should figure out how to get you there in a professional way. The same way that their people for their company travel. That's all I'm asking. Does Senior England, let's see, they have a huge family. When they travel, do they hop on the bus and go across the country? About 2 years ago, nice place up on Donner Pass. I never thought that the pooch was that bad. Will we see Gracie at your talk? I might bring a picture of her there so I don't sweat as much. Radio Shack had the worst vacuum tubes ever. I never replaced vacuum tubes. Midlife Trucker had the Battery of the Month Club too. Wasn't that the greatest thing? You could go in every month and get a free battery. And that got you into Radio Shack, of course, and I'd look around at all the other stuff. But yeah, Battery of the Month Club. I don't know how many batteries I got. Many. I was in it for years. And they let anybody do it. I'm talking as a kid, little kid, probably 10, 11, I'd ride my bike over there. This is when parents would let their kids ride bikes around without, and let them be gone all day. I'd be gone all day, and we'd go over to Radio Shack and I'd get my battery. Dog was gone, but the smell on carpets and sheets covered with dog hair still remain. Oh, named it Dirty Dog. Well, at least because I'm like concerned about the dog. I cannot imagine a job where you recover trucks all day. Some driver in New Jersey truck driver did that for a long time, and they finally caught him. I think he's in prison. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that on the tolls. So I didn't eventually do it, but I think you could have. I went to orientation and came back with egg foo young and shrimp fried rice. Nice. The 1 cent raise drivers are mad because other DCs got an 8 cent raise. Oh, well, that's a problem. See, once people start talking, and then why would they do that? They think, oh, well, where are these drivers going to go? See, that's the problem. Some companies think they're the best company ever and where the driver's going to go. And I did get confirmation from some people at Walmart that the phone policy is been abandoned, that you can talk on the phone basically all you want as long as you're on a headset. So I can't give them grief for 10 6-minute calls or whatever each day. You can talk on the phone now as long as you have a headset on. But yeah, when other DCs get more of a raise than you, that's a problem. I prefer Lafayette over Radio Shack. I don't know what that is. This is the wrong time to buy a truck. What is the lease payment now on a truck? Although, you know, the good thing about the lease payment is the residual's high on them right now. I told the dispatcher, congratulations. No, I think that's great. You should write him and say, hey, thanks a lot. And I helped you get this award. Yeah, absolutely. Lafayette Radio had a great catalog. Oh, see, I never heard of that place. I just wanted my free battery. Wrong color backup light. Is that white privilege? Well, apparently it's not, because the light's not white enough. The light's some kind of, really, it's some kind of off-white that is not the correct white that meets the lighting requirements. There are lighting requirements that it has to be a certain color white, and it's not white enough. They put a recall out for it, international. They said there's a lot of them, and you're going to have to come in and have it checked. And the dealer will check it for free. And if it doesn't meet the requirements, they will put a new white LED in it that does. Joe, no loaner truck. I'm a single owner operator. Oh, I save for times like this. I think it's just not the time to be stripping apart. Yes, they should almost provide you. Since it's them doing that, they should almost provide you with a truck. I mean, that's a lot of time down. From what you're hearing, what is a reasonable cents per mile? You should, any experienced driver now should be getting 60. 60 plus. 60 is kind of minimum now for an experienced driver over the road, because you can get that now. So 60. Where you were just getting a raise to 50, that means this place had to be in the 40s. I mean, there's no way anymore anybody's in the 40s, and they're making a big deal about it. They're like a dime low. Do they allow truck parking at Matt's? They do. I've never been there before. I don't know where in Louisville I can park. ID Ford V8. All right, you can go on the website at Mid-America Truck Show. Go look them up. There's a parking diagram. I think, though, if I remember, I've never taken a truck there. But if you come in a truck, you have to show up when they open, and you got to stay there until it closes Saturday. I don't think you can come and go in a truck. I don't think. You have to look that up there. But the parking is free for trucks somewhere else, and they run a shuttle. It used to be the Bozo shuttle. The truck and Bozo used to be on the shuttle. He's not on there now, being as he is dead, so he doesn't show up at the truck shows anymore. But they do run a shuttle back and forth for drivers in their trucks. People standing on bridges waving the American flag in a truck convoy in Springfield, Missouri. Good. How many people are in this convoy? I'm trying to find out, since people are looking at it, how many people are there and how many of them are semis? How many are pickup trucks? Is this kind of, like a hippie convoy, or what are we doing here? That's what I want to know. How many are there? It's Mr. Plow. Are you taking Mobile 1 or Mobile 2 to the truck show? I'm not sure which one is Mobile 1 or Mobile 2. We're taking the Escape to the truck show. Thank you very much for that. We're going to go down in the Escape, and we'll be down there. We'll get over 30 miles to the gallon, so not bad. Can about one tank it, although I'll fill up down there. And it should be just great. Well, hopefully it'll be warm enough to pop the top off the thing and let some fresh air into it. It needs to get on the road. It never gets driven. Last week it didn't go anywhere. So if England does get a bus, it's going to be a double-decker. I'm surprised England doesn't have, those kind of buses running around. They need to do better than the bus. Don't be nervous. You'll do great. People like you. Well, I hope so. Joan Harper, I can't be as crazy as normal. So it's a little nerve-wracking, to be an hour where the truck show says, hey, we want you to come down here and talk at the largest truck show in the country. Even though I'm not talking to everybody there, it's still a lot of people. And so it's a little nervous, of course. I hope to do good there. And I hope at least one person sits in the seats. I used to drive I may bring Otto, which is the autopilot from from Airplane, so it looks like at least there's one person there. I used to drive for the Lindy Group. Many years ago, I drove an International ProStar day cabs. They were junk, especially the Regen. Oh, yeah, they're horrible. I agree with that. I hate them. I still hate them to this day, and I wish they all stopped making them, personally, and I don't even have one. But now with this, this just is the top into the cake. My reverse light's not even white enough? Come on. And did people notice this? Anybody have an International and think, boy, that reverse light is like eggshell white. It's not even white. The Englands are very frugal people. That's disappointing. Money should be used to better lives and stuff. And I'm not saying you got to spend like it's going out of style, but what is the point of having money like the England family if it doesn't enrich you and enrich those around you? What is the point of money? Can't take it with you. I wrote it wrong. Flat Highway. They sent a driver home after they found out he used his grant to get his CDL and they couldn't get one to pay for the school. Oh, so they're like, we can't get you any more grant, and so we're going to send you home. Why don't they just put him on a contract like everybody else? I never picked a company that wasn't within 250 miles of my house. That way I'm close if I wanted to leave. That's true too. Although most places have somewhere, but yeah. So if you work for a company that's 1,000 miles from your house, you're going to quit. You got to get yourself 1,000 miles home. At 250, somebody will come and get you. At 1,000 miles, even your spouse is going to be like, get yourself home. Dick Simon owned his own race team, and they used to run the Indy 500 every year. Did they win? Wouldn't some DC pay their drivers more due to the cost of living? I think it's probably a local thing, right? It's just the problem of the people from different DCs are going to talk to each other about it. Why did those people get more than me? And really what you should be is, am I getting an amount that is the right amount for the job that I'm doing for me? Not that somebody else makes more than you. People make more than other people. The question is, do you make what you consider a fair wage for the work you're doing in the location where you live? Rent here and mortgages in Lafayette are not expensive, so you don't have to make a super lot of money here. So it might be part of that. Roy, Mark, is truck turnover for big companies really 90%? No, it's more than that at some of them. I see these truck schools advertising on billboards now. Retention is what's needed. Yeah, and White has been talking this up in the news, which is nice. They've been getting on even legit news shows. So that's pretty good. Yeah, it's 90 plus. Some of them 120% per year. So imagine having 5,000 trucks and you have to hire 6,000 people per year just to keep the trucks full. Isn't that incredible? That's really incredible. And that's the problem. They get people, but they have no desire to keep people. A lot of companies that have these really high turnovers, they don't care to keep people. That's a problem. And a lot of these people never stay in the industry. There's 10 million CDLs in the United States. Way more than enough to fill every job. People just don't want to do it. It's soggy in Salem. Does that affect acetone? That's my question. Yeah, some more pay for different areas, but all should get the same raise. No, a penny for some and 6 for others. Well, that's a problem. People talk to each other. But are you being paid fairly for what you're doing? That should be your question. Not what somebody else is making. Are you being paid fairly for the work that you do? Far H passing the convoy now. Pretty cool. They're getting close to Rolla. All right. Rolla. How many people are there? I just heard Kevin Rutherford got his contract canceled over something he said. I just found out. I asked about that earlier. Nobody said anything. Somebody said that in a video from earlier in the week. Did Kevin Rutherford get fired or leave satellite radio? And if so, why? Why? What did he say? Because he's not, I looked in that and I'm like, oh, he's not on the XM schedule anymore. I looked in the channel schedule. He's not on there. What are we doing? Glitter Sparkle for my vacation. I'm going to Mid-America Truck Show, and on my way home, I'm going to stop and look for Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Oh, I haven't seen one of those. I don't know if there's one in Louisville or not. Arthur Treacher with the vinegar sauce you can dip in. All right, I hope to see you at the truck show. I'll be there Friday, Saturday. It's frosty and upstate in New York. Bring your snow bibs. Here, warm every day coming up. And I'll announce here, still got to look at the map. I'll be somewhere like at 2 p.m. each day. That's what I'm thinking. It'll be easier to find me if anybody wants to. I may just stand there either way. But I think at 2 or whatever each day I'll be somewhere, probably run the food place or whatever. And we can meet up and say hello if you want to come over and say hello. So if you want, if not, that's okay too. Otherwise, just wandering around, we'll never find each other. We're like two ships that pass in the night. SNS starting me out, all miles, 53 cents, not per diem. Good. That convoy has at least 40 trucks and more four-wheelers. They're only going 45, the minimum. The state legal minimum. Nice. Guy dropped a trailer in the middle of the lane on T295 today, Roger Moore. Really? You mean the tri-state? Were you up in that area, or is that somewhere else? Either way, I mean, maybe he had the same fifth wheel problem that we had here. Because once you leave somewhere and it falls off later, I always wonder if that's a problem with the fifth wheel. You know, that's not a you problem. That could be a fifth wheel problem. Chad, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That'll be me walking in the room down there. I hope. Are you going to talk about a driver's seat? What are you going to talk about at the truck show? Well, we've already arranged at the truck show that I will be talking about how to maximize your miles using a legal log. A lot of it will be split sleeper. A lot of people don't understand how to split and get more miles that way because you stop your clock now with the new split rules, right? So I want to really explain split and all the other suggestions that people have given on using the log legally to get the most miles. You know, PCing out of a place where you've run out of hours to go get a parking spot, all the things that are legal to do to get the most miles, never running illegal. So I can't really go off track there because people said, mention this, mention that. I can't really do that. It's their show. And so we've got a set thing. I'll be in the program there. That's what'll be the thing. And that's what we'll be talking about there. People can ask questions about other things, certainly, but that's what the talk will be. It's a seminar, a pro talk seminar. Tough to get a count because of traffic, but still seeing tons of trucks, RVs with flags dragging behind. All right. So would you say 100, 150? That'd be something. Fish and chips are best with Heinz malted vinegar. That's what they used to come with, that kind of stuff. And I haven't seen an Arthur Treacher's in 100 years. I mean, wow. Skullator. Nice. That sounds like a new Marvel character. Hello. Do you think we'll get $10 a gallon? Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it? It was $3.59 here yesterday at Meijer for gas. All right. And diesel average nationwide 406 as of today. So we'll see 10. Ooh, that'd be something. I think people are getting nervous already. We get gas over 4. That's going to be a real problem. Boy, you'll see trucks. You'll see Schneider in that backing back down to 58 miles an hour. Malt vinegar is delicious on the right fish. And we also have malt liquor for the fish as well. I know nerve-wracking being a speaker can be. I was invited to be a guest speaker at an autism awareness fundraiser for a huge crowd of people. Man, was I nervous sharing my son's autism journey. Yeah, I can imagine. Right? And that's just to turn your story. So, yeah, it can be very nerve-wracking. How did that go? Did you do good there? Fries and thighs are even better. The dark meat usually they don't charge extra for. Are you staying in a hotel Friday night? Yeah, probably. I'm probably going to come. That's why I'm coming Friday, and I'm going to hit the hotel somewhere there on Friday night and head on out. Fortunately, one of the wife's kids works at the Hilton group of hotels, and I get a friends and family discount. So it'll be probably some Hilton branded hotel. And as a Hilton Honors member, I can get the friends discount, friends and family discount. Another problem is that most insurance companies require a year or two of driving experience for a good rate or high pay. Yeah, so, I mean, starting at 53 cents, not bad. with no experience. And in a year, you can go out, then the whole world is your oyster that you can then open, basically, and take a pearl out of. Then the whole option of everything is open to you. So just stay a year, get a good record, don't get any tickets or whatever, and I think you got it made. Tell Coca-Cola Corporate that their backup lights are not white enough. Is that a problem? Are they having the same problem? Look, I thought that was the dumbest thing I ever heard of. But because it doesn't meet some kind of requirement, International is forced to recall these trucks and replace the backup lights because they're not the right shade of white. Paul Cruz, I worked the racing scene in my past life. Roger Penske's teams won, and they won a lot of IndyCar. I worked in the pits with a hospitality sponsorship. Met all the drivers. That's pretty cool. We're doing that kind of stuff. Awesome. Kevin made it known he learned more conservative. Maybe that's the reason why. Really? What did they... So if he's gone off of satellite, which he's been on there forever, what did he say that got him fired off of satellite radio? The whole channel, the trucking channel, is kind of a conservative-leaning channel, I would say, probably. 146 on Sirius. What did he say that got him booted off of satellite radio? Anybody? Any idea? Easiest way to split sleepers with a chainsaw. That's true. That's one way. But you can pick up a lot of extra hours using a split sleeper. Maximize your hours by using resets rather than recaps. That's true too, right? Every little thing that gets you more miles in the same amount of time is really raising your pay as well per hour. So if we can do more in the same amount of time, we're making more an hour. Well, that's the way to do it. Roger Moore, goodness. Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. Thank you. Midlife Trucker Tom Bell, get an extra set of rolling wieners for the trip on my channel. Thank you very much. I will do that. I'll need to make a pit stop on the way. I'm sure it's 175 miles each way for me. Not terrible. Not a terrible way to go. Where is this at? Oh, right there. Right. And that is, look, everybody should go visit that channel, all right? 6-figure trucker right there, how to do it, how it can be done, which can be done. So there we go. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, there'll be a stop or two along the way, certainly. Going down. I'll probably be down at the show by noon Friday. That's what I'm thinking. Congrats on speaking event, Chad. Just remember, if you get nervous, just imagine everyone there in the audience naked. Yeah, that's the thing. People say that, but if there's people in the audience, if anybody actually shows up, it's going to be a lot of drivers. So is that something you want to do? Oh, yeah, there's Bubba Joe. Let's imagine that naked. Yeah, I don't know about that. So I don't know if that's the greatest plan or not. It's like going to the nudist colony. The people that are at the nudist colony are not the people you think are going to be at the nudist colony. I may have stopped by the one in my youth up here in Roselawn, Indiana. And it's just not the people you think are there. Columbia George, Kevin Rutherford said he knew what company Mark Rums drives for. Next day got canceled. Oh, I have nothing to say about that. Moving on. What does anybody say? And Satellite or podcast that Howard Stern doesn't say. Roger Penske. Yeah. Of all people, Howard Stern has his own channel. And they don't boot him out of there. So what could Kevin Rutherford possibly have said on a trucking channel that gets him booted off the channel? I mean, I couldn't believe it. And then, yeah, he's not on the list. And now people are saying, yeah, he's off of there. What happened? What did he say? I guess nobody heard what he said. Big Ben, tip your host, folks. I appreciate it. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much for that. Do you have any insight into this Kevin Rutherford? I wasn't listening to the channel that day, so I don't know what happened. I will be listening to it on the way to the truck show, so. Chubby Jack Flash. Oh, it is a gas. It's going to be down there. If they keep raising the gas price, I'm going to have to sleep in the car down there. The Trembling Man just got hired by Hirschbach. You don't like the camera thing, but who's perfect? Well, look, it just depends what they do about it. I'm never a fan of it. As long as they leave you alone about it, it's okay, I guess. I still don't like it on principle. But if they don't bother you about it, then I guess we're okay with it. If they're okay otherwise, like, are they going to send you out there on your own, rent you a car, give you your own room? Get all your endorsements in Twic. That opens up way more driving jobs. J Trucking. I don't know about Twic. I never had that kind of thing. Maybe. I keep a couple of endorsements. Maybe. Certainly we can agree, after a year, you can get any job you want. And let's say you didn't have any endorsements after a year, but you wanted to work for a pilot or somebody that would hire you and be a truck driver. Even in their ads at the pilot from the thing, it says, must have hazmat in 90 days in Twic or whatever. They give you time to get it. So I think they're willing to bend a little bit to get you in and then help you get the stuff that you need while they train you. The autism fundraiser went very well, and I hope our autism journey helped people understand and show the families that are struggling that they are not as alone as being an autism family feels. Yeah. See, just by sharing your journey, everybody has a message that they can share. No matter what it is, everybody's got a unique message that they can share with the world like you. And so I'm glad that went good. And if you can just change somebody's life like that, well, I mean, that's the point of life, right? Is your room a solo? Yeah, absolutely. Like this driver, which I found sad. And I did talk about this on my award-winning podcast on Tuesday and Friday, weather permitting. This driver, so a driver pulls into a truck stop. I think this was Florida. I didn't write that down because I'm not good at this. And he notices the truck next to him leaking blood and smells bad. So he calls the police. And a driver has deceased himself in there. He died, and the truck was still in the on position. It had run out of fuel. So the police, after the autopsy or whatever, they looked at him and think he's been there 4 days. And the thing that I found more sad, not that he died, because look, we're all going to go sometime, right? Day comes for everybody. So always be ready for it. But they looked, and there's no missing persons report on the person. Nothing. He just died, and that was it. That's it. Nobody missed him. Would anybody miss you in 4 days? You know, that's what I found. Like, wow, you can be gone 4 days. You don't talk to anybody in your whole life in 4 days, die, and nobody even misses you. That's really something. And if that's you today, go reconnect with somebody. I'll tell you that. I mean, I just got off the road. All right, Michael Swift, it's good. Joe, I've been seeing the Democratic Party saying we should accept inflation. They'll just start accusing people who hate it as radicals. Just accept it. Your pay's going up, right? Oh, brilliant. What's his face? Where did he go? I wrote this guy down. His name is, Ruben Gallego, Democrat of Arizona. Says all the trucks in the United States that are in convoys right now should be seized and sold to smaller companies to help them. If people are going to do that. Yep, that's a quote. That is a quote. Isn't that great? Turns out we don't do that in the United States. So, yeah. Road Dogg may have fired him. Stern owns his own. Oh, yeah. Well, look, Road Dogg did fire him, but why? That's what I'm saying. What did he say that got him like, boom, fired? Well, it can't be a speaker flat highway. I don't know if she could make an entire hour awake. So that would be a problem. Gracie is not normally up for an hour at a time. She has stints of being awake, but she gets tired easily and has to rest again. Are we allowed to ask manhole questions? I can't control the questions that come out of the audience. It comes out of their mouth holes. Howard Stern is officially woke, so he gets a pass. Oh, okay. Look, the channel, though, 146, it leans conservative anyway, just from the channel. So that's why I can't imagine what he would say. Years ago, Roger Penske had a girlfriend in Vegas when I lived up there. She's not an ex-girlfriend because she likes the dark meat. Ah, nice. Fifth wheel failure on a highway is the driver's fault, even if the driver gets all the way from coast to coast. It's just the way in trucking. Well, that's true, too. But like I've said, I've told this story several times. We had a couple drivers drop trailers here. And the company's like, oh, you didn't check it or whatever. Well, it turns out later that it was the fifth wheel's fault. And they had to rebuild, some of our fifth wheels beyond. They checked them. Some of the other ones were bad too, and they rebuilt a bunch of them. They had to take the whole thing apart and get new guts part of it put in and put the things back on the trucks. It wasn't the driver's fault. That's what I'm saying. Once you go some distance, maybe it's the fifth wheel that fails. It only takes $2,000 a week to make six figures. That's true. That's very true. That's a lot of money, though. 6 figures, a lot of money. Is it hitch a ride with GP Transco? Yeah, maybe I could just thumb a ride with somebody going by. Twic helps if you live by a port. I got all mine, but Jim and I paid for everything. Yeah, you probably need them there, right? And they continue to pay for them, so perfect. Michael, hey, Mark, don't be nervous. Just pretend you're playing Marco Polo with the truck drivers in the hotel pool. That will be a fun night. That will certainly be fun. Howard Stern went so far left, a lot of people are confused how he said, forget your freedom, endorsed mass and force vax. Well, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, I suppose. I make $19.99 a week. I asked for $1 raise and they fired you. They go, look, we can't go that kind of money. They go, what do you think this is, Walmart? The driver that died at Love's. That's the new one that died at Love's. That's the new one by my house. Really? What do you think about 4 days? I mean, that's what I found sad. In that 4 days, nobody notices you're not around. They don't talk to you. You don't talk to anybody. I mean, that's not a great life. Let's connect, What's the point of life by being by yourself? Roger Penske, which manhole does your ex-girlfriend live at? She must live by one of them. A Kelter Rooster travels, poor man, that's heartbreaking. Yeah, I know. I mean, you just die and decompose in a truck for 4 days. And nobody notices you're gone. That's the worst part. Not that you die. Everybody dies. But that nobody knows you're gone. I thought, wow, nobody knows you're gone. Michael Swift, PM Twig, stay out of the ports and away from the piers. Oh, it's a big hassle. Depends how you go in and stuff like that. You know, JB Hunt advertises that they have their own entry. That's what they say in their ads. We have our own gates you can go into. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they say. They were looking for the truck after it missed the load. Right. The place where you're supposed to deliver called it in. They wanted their stuff. They weren't concerned about him. They wanted their stuff. That's all. No one had called him in. That's the thing. Nobody called him in. Joan Harper, that's me. No one missed me in 4 days. No one likes me enough to want to be my friend. We're your friend here. Okay, I would miss you not on here, certainly. You know, I think people should, at least try to connect with somebody. I mean, I have a couple of friends that I've had for many, many years. And I would hope somebody'd miss me. This would be the cat at the truck show. Okay, just like this. That's what the cat's doing. The cat's like, truck show? Okay, this is what we're doing here. So we couldn't really have the cat come out and say anything. I don't think she'd make the whole show. Believe me, she doesn't have any, she doesn't like people much, so. Have her purr in the mic for an hour. Oh, people would like that. It's so loud. She's so loud purring too, so that'd be really great. I bet he got fired because he said something true or common sense. You know, I wish I knew what got him booted out of there. What is like the last straw? He's been on there for many years. You know, what do they say? All right, this is it. It's, have they talked to you in advance about this? Or that's always the fickle part of radio though, right? Stuff like that. When you work for somebody else at any job, including on satellite, you can be gone the next day. Truck driving, satellite, unless it's your own thing, you can be fired. Sir, about 2 years ago, private law called to have trucks removed. This was in May. They found truck had been parked since March. Guy died in his bunk 2 months. Was there no missing persons report on him? That's the thing of it. You can be gone 2 months and nobody in the whole planet misses you. 7-something billion people. And you have no family. You have no friends. I mean, wow. You don't volunteer anywhere. You don't do anything. That's really something. That's something. I can't believe a truck sat since March, too, although some of those sell-it-on trucks sat for a year. I've noticed the only channel on my TV that is constantly being cut off due to poor signal broadcast is Fox News. Does this occur with anyone else? I don't have cable here. So the channel's coming pretty good here. Xfinity, love it. Purr more and hiss less. Right. Although sometimes, as you know, you think, it's belly rubbing times, and the cat doesn't think the same thing. She's like, no, it's going to be biting times. Road Dog has to worry about advertisers. They do. I agree with that. They do have to worry about advertisers. And it seems like they would say, look, if I was going to go on a satellite radio or any channel like that radio, I would say, all right, what can I say and what can I not say? I'd want to know that in advance so that we have a good relationship because you're working for them. So I totally agree with you. And you'd think Kevin, after all those years, would be thinking about that. Don't forget to tip the host, Ken P. I appreciate it. He has to pay an agent now. That's correct. I'll have an agent, and the agent will be doing the show. I will not. I will no longer do the show myself. There'll be a cardboard cutout of me here. That's all that there will be. Truckers in the buff. Yeah, I don't know if that's something you want to do. Like, I want to picture everybody here naked. I don't know about that. Convoy is not the way to go. Just park them. That's true. That would be a lot faster. This isn't going to do anything, especially considering the number of people. And this one convoy now we see as maybe 100. That's still not a lot of trucks. Cheeseman uses Fontaine fifth wheels. More expensive, but less chance of failure. Midlife trucker. Sometimes the cheap comes out expensive. That's what they say in the People's Court, and I agree. Don't cheap out on everything. Use something that, especially the fifth wheel of all things, that you should spend money on. Number one is the seat for the driver. Number two, fifth wheel. 2 Wookiees and a pancake. My Monday rant is, can drivers please start using their turn signals whenever you get on the freeway? They cannot be bothered with that. They think, I'm getting on here. You know where I'm going. Sorry I'm late. How are you today, superstar? Well, I'll ask the superstar. I'm doing good here. Gracie, though, sleeping. So thank you very much, Ked P. Tell my wife or any family member if they don't hear from me that day, something could have happened, so call for help. J Trucking, exactly. But you'd think they would anyway, without saying anything. Like, there must be somebody you talk to every day, isn't there? I mean, is no one expecting a call from you? When I was on the road, I called the wife every day between 4 and 5. We had a regular call time, no matter what I was doing. And then also at night, I would call her as well. Every night. We talked at night when I would park. So every day without fail. And I also called my parents when they were living. They got a call every week. So call friends and stuff. There's always somebody to call. And that's why I'm thinking, a driver 4 days went without talking to anybody. I mean, that's not good. That's just not good. Cats will miss you after they finish eating you. We miss your trucking wisdom. Kelter travels. She would. She would probably eat me. No problem. She thinks about it now. She's just not big enough, or she probably would. I agree with you. I'm in. I agree. His voicemail still works, but is full. Really? I just wish somebody had been listening to the last show and to say, okay, this is what I think got him fired. Because when you search the internet for it, there's no reports at all of it. Like, nobody's posted anything about it. Sometimes I wish I could disappear for a few days without any calls. Yeah, you have just the opposite problem. At least, but I guess the one way to look at it, at least somebody cares about you. If I started an over-the-road company, Al Johns, I bet they would give me the dead guy's truck, haunted by a trucker who loves gay slurs. Yeah, hey, here's some truck. You may need some of these handy wipes. Ruben Gallego is a representative out of Tucson. He's a complete whack job. His district is Mexican, so he will never lose an election as long as he runs. Well, I mean, people can always boot him out of there. He said, that the truckers in the convoys here in the United States, their trucks should be seized and sold to small trucking companies to help them out. So, great. That sounds pretty American to me. Somebody may want to send a copy of the First Amendment over to him. Although it also includes him saying that. I have to get a great live stream, and I always enjoy your channel and experienced insight into the trucking industry. God bless everyone. Dark 688, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I can't do the show without everybody on here, or it would be just like it's going to be here in Louisville. People die in their homes all the time and are found by a neighbor. 4 days later, I was that neighbor, Paul Cruz. His truck was in the shop and his motorcycle too. I just figured he went to his girlfriend's house. Yeah, I mean, that's something that nobody has called him. And that, here's the thing. If nobody calls and won't answer, would somebody come and look for you? I would think somebody would look for me. I talk to people every day, so I think I'd be missed somewhere. I would hope. The cat has enough food for several days. Take your cat with you and just hold it up for the crowd once in a while like a salty cracker. Right. Hey, here's the cat. People are like, oh, cat. She'd have to be in a crate. She would not like that at all. In 2018, there was a campaign to get Rutherford off the air. 2018. Midlife Trucker, yes. But apparently it didn't work. Apparently we got him off now, though, for whatever reason. He's been on there, 10 years at least? It seems like. At the Flying J in Matthew, Missouri, a driver passed inside one of the stalls. The cleaning person found him. Wow. Well, that might be a little bit faster, so I can understand that. Wow. Boy, that's not something you want to find in there. You got to go sometime. It's what you do between now and then. That's the key. Nude trucker's a nice way to say Yeti. Yikes. Wow. Hey, you may want to get some of that shaving going on. Together both, you could prepay the bridge tolls online and save some of the tolls. I saw that. I saw you can prepay it, but I'm nervous that it won't credit to my plate. So I don't prepay it. I did see you. Oh, I'm going to prepay it, but I'm not doing it. For a couple of dollars. I only cross the bridge once a year for this, and they haven't had the show for several years. So I did see you could prepay it, but I'm not going to do it. I like seeing the picture of the car, too. I scare myself when I look in the mirror with clothes on. I can't imagine people looking at you naked twice as scary. I don't know. I mean, can you imagine a crowd of 60 truck drivers and you're picturing them all naked? I mean, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Looking up missing in America for veterans that die without family. That's sad for anybody, a veteran or anybody else. I mean, go connect with somebody. You don't have a connection in your whole life where you can just decompose in a truck and nobody misses you. I found that to be a really sad story. I can't stand to see myself naked, let alone someone else. Yeah, imagine the truck drivers there. A room full of truck drivers. Obviously, that driver didn't have a TQL load. They go every 2 hours in the middle of the night. If anything, the broker wonders where you are. Hey, where are you doing? You alive? What's happening? The broker, of all people in life, the brokers are going to be the one to make sure that we live. Left trucker. The problem with the convoy is there's no specific issues with the desired result. Yes, they're all scattered. There's several convoys, although the one just closed, and they each have different issues. Like somebody said earlier, let's go back to the old days of trucking. What does that mean? What does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything. And they don't have a really good spokesman set up. They don't have a good way to talk to the press, and they don't have their issues put down exactly what they want. Yeah. And so they show up in D.C. and go, we want the old days back. I don't know what that means. That's not very specific. Well, like 48 cents a gallon diesel. I don't know. That's pretty much my life. This show is one of my social days. So if you don't hear from me, send manhole security, Joe. I'll send somebody over if you're not on. I know after a few days my dog would eat me, Kelly. That's true. So the dog would miss you and then eat you. Joan, I don't talk to anyone. My parents have phone number blocked. Wow. No one cares enough to just call and check on me. That would be a problem. Somebody may find you down there eventually. Night Ranger, will Uncle Cash be doing your hair and makeup before your presentation? I told him that I'll need a green room with 47 yellow M&Ms, and all the M's have to be facing the same direction. And also my crew will also be there to do hair, makeup, and everything. So I should be there about 7 getting all that set up. Yeah. That probably played a part in hitting himself. Lonely and depressed. Yeah, probably. Now, the driver in this truck, there's no indication that he killed himself, just that he died. So they didn't suggest that because everybody's got that date set up. So I don't know how he died, but that he did die in there. If I drop dead and I'm at home, it could be very well 2 weeks before anybody realizes it. Really? I'm just amazed by that. Hey, talk to somebody. Get on the phone to somebody. I think that's a big problem of trucking. And I lost my little spot, of course. Let's see. Your dog is too used to good dining. Kelly, yeah, exactly, Kelly. All that food and that's the greatest dog ever when you're cooking. Just sitting there so quietly looking at the food. Keltrooster Travels, we would miss you. Yeah, Joan, right. We'll miss you here. Cats eat their owners more than dogs do when they're decomposed, Joan Harper. Well, look, I wouldn't put it past her. She tries to bite me a lot, so... A lot of males die on the toilet. Really? Why is that? Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'll go back to cooking videos in a few weeks. All right. Kevin has an email to contact him. Write him an email and see if he'll reply. Yeah, all right. I didn't know that. All right, I'll have to go to a different way and get him. Why do you talk to everybody? Why do you talk to every day besides your wife and parents and for 15 minutes, Mark? Who do you talk to every day and for 15 minutes? I call friends and we'll talk back and forth during the day, different friends and stuff. Yeah. Not parents anymore, but wife certainly every day. I think she'd miss me if I didn't talk to her. I do see her every day, but on the road, yeah, I talk to her every single day. And then during the day on the road, friends all the time on the phone. My grandfather was 105 when he passed. Wow, midlife trucker, wow. He lived on a mountain. The mail lady called my aunt when they hadn't picked up his mail in 3 days. He had no cell, rarely answered his phone. Well, he did make 105. That's pretty good. At least the mail person missed him. Who's saying trucks should be seized? It's not a driver. No. The person is Representative Ruben Gallego, Democrat of Arizona. Only trucks and convoys should be seized in the United States. That's what he said. Constipation killed Elvis. He should hit Taco Tuesday more. The guy that passed and saw the Flying J was an Elvis impersonator. Was he really? That'd be pretty awesome. Except for the dying part. I'm not going to die, live forever like the Queen. She's 95. She's doing good. Cannon would have sent a wellness check after 10 hours. Midlife trucker. Yeah, look, if nothing else, if you don't have anybody in your life, go work for K&B. They will send the cops to check on you every single day. So at least you won't decompose in the truck. You might be dead for 9 hours, but that's about it. My sister does a monthly call on me. I just hope I left the AC on super cold so I don't rot. Michael, yeah, a monthly call. Hey, it's another month. You still alive? I mean, yikes. If I see myself naked in the shower, I slip and fall, you got to put those little daisies down. They're only 20 cents a piece or whatever. Hair and makeup, now it's funny. Make sure they do bends and mustache. Oh, yeah, beards. Sure, absolutely. And I got to have those M&Ms laid out, too. That's the thing. I got a rider, If I die in the truck, hopefully it's on top of a cabbage patch. Wow. Did you see the 18-wheeler take the Nestea plunge in the river? I did, Tommy Cash. They had commented that they'd removed some kind of toll booth in Massachusetts, and ever since then, they've had a lot of accidents right there, and they said that they thought eventually somebody's going to go off that bridge. And guess what? Somebody did. The problem was it was a mail truck. And so this truck took the plunge right off of there, right into the water. The driver's okay. All the mail, you see it all floating around in the river. So, great. Yeah, the mail truck right off the bridge, right into the river. That was pretty impressive, that video, by the way. I read a statement but can't find it now, John. The word kill was one of the words, but I'm pretty sure people took it out of context. He did say he'll be back on a different venue real soon. Really? Really? Okay. Word kill. What did he say? Kill somebody or something? You can't say that, but who knows? I'd love to see what he actually said. Fellow drivers, consider doing reviews in Trucker Path. Let's get good reviews so we don't see all those one-word reviews. Yeah, right. Good. They put in there, good. What does that mean? Whenever you do a review of a place, put down some specifics. I spend most of my home time in the bathroom. Wow. Maybe some fiber. I miss my toilet when I'm over the road. Yeah, road toilets, not for most uses. Agree. Only my parents would miss me. Everyone else wouldn't notice until the bill stopped getting paid, Chris. Oh, right. Hangers on. Hey, why'd the lights go out? Oh, maybe because that dead body over there on the couch. No roller wieners in your rider. They have to have a roller wiener machine provided, and it must be fully stocked at all times for the entire weekend. I make an effort to talk to everyone everywhere, even in the bathroom. Hey, how's it going over there? Pretty good? What's going on? Got a square I can have? Been trying to reach... Oh, Midlife Trucker, what about these people? We've been trying to reach you about your truck's extended warranty, and we can't get in contact with you. Those I get. Those calls I get every day. Those people are better than family. I don't think Mark remembers how Elvis passed. I remember what they say, what they want you to think. But remember, his name's misspelled on the tombstone, so we know that's not him in there. Remember? Remember? Right, has to hold hands so you don't feel alone. Put a hand under there. You can't do that in a J, but other ones, hey, do you feel lonely? Here, grab my hand. Joe, in my first year trucking, Covenant put me on a dedicated run to Tennessee. Turns out the driver that was doing it shot himself. They found him on Monday when they came back in. Kablamo. That's disappointing. You know, we don't want any of that, certainly. I should put the number up now, which I'm going to do. If you're considering that, call this number. Okay? Please, seriously. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call, go on the website. They will help you. My kids would know I was gone when the internet or power went out. Hey, what happened? Oh, nobody's paying the bills. Huh. Wonder how that happened. Must be that bad smell we smelled in the house here. There was a 421. There was a Navy vet that people hated. He died, and it was 10 months before someone realized it. Wow. His bills were auto pay. So there was no suspicion. No one cared. That's really something. I guess there was no one. At that point, no one ever misses you. And if your bills are on auto pay, there's nothing. That's it. I guess the key is to have at least one bill that's not on auto pay, so somebody misses you, like the phone company or something. The reason so many people die in the bathroom is that grunt. They need some fiber. Where's his name misspelled? Joan Harper. His name is misspelled on his tombstone at Graceland. From what I understand, Aaron, right? Aaron on there is misspelled, and so we know that's not him there. That's correct. He didn't die. He lived. That's what they say, and that's what we're going to stick to. A my own bed and my own toilet. There's nothing better. I agree. Can't beat a home toilet. That driver at the Madison Loves had a gun in the truck, but it hadn't been fired mid-load truck. Yeah, I saw that too, but, that's probably more common than we think, that drivers have a gun. I think it's just probably for protection. And, yeah, you're right. They said it hadn't been fired, so I think you just died. They didn't say anything about foul play, and they didn't say anything else, so I kind of think he just died. And the only people that missed him really were the people looking for the load. The manhole has no stall dividers, so you're not lonely. Exactly. Just like basic training, right? Toilets, just a line of toilets. You can keep on talking to your buddies. I need to cancel bill pay, at least on one bill. This has gotten depressing, right? We went off track. It's spelled Aaron instead of Aaron, right, for Elvis, right? So that's why we know it's a different person. I was first call driver 20 years ago. Unattended deaths were the worst. Yikes. First call. You get that phone call. Hey, at least they're looking for you. Gotta go let the salt flow. What is salt flow? I'm not sure about what that would be. Dying in the toilet was good enough for Elvis. It's good enough for me. You all know Elvis is still alive. I agree. I saw him, I don't know, early 90s at a truck stop in Tennessee. I remember that day. I'm going in the shower, and a guy probably 3 doors down was going in the shower. I'll swear to this day that was Elvis getting in that shower. I would swear on a stack of comic books that was Elvis. No question about it. On Elvis albums. It looked 100% like him. Elvis is alive, my son, with the Piggly Wiggly. He's getting his Piggly Wiggly discounts. Unfortunately, we don't have those here. I wish. Although I think there's like one in Wisconsin, of all places. But we don't get a Piggly Wiggly this far north of us. Let's see, what did I have here? Oh, there's another wreck in Canada. Okay, can we stop wrecking? 15 trucks and 10 cars. Now, we all say, oh, it's trucks, it's cars causing accidents. Why are there 15 trucks involved in an accident? People are following too close in the bad weather. Your child support's not an auto pay, right? That person would miss you. That's what number one thing drivers complain about in break rooms, it seems like, child support. We know Elvis is dead. Michael Jackson got away with divorcing his daughter. Ah! Elvis is Pastor Bob Joyce on YouTube. Yeah, I never saw that one. You saw Elvis where you all shook up. Oh, I was, too. I'm like, that's Elvis. That's Elvis. Of course, that's Elvis. And the guy next to me is like, let me go. I'm trying to get a shower. I'm like, look, it's Elvis. We're all trying to get a shower here. So, yeah, that guy was Elvis. He had like the jumpsuit on and everything. I thought, but remember, Elvis was a truck driver. So that very well could have been Elvis, and it would make perfect sense. Would have made perfect sense to that, believe me. Oh, also your 3G service is ending. So if you have a 3G device, they wanted to make a comment that you're living in the past, apparently, and you should upgrade your 3G. I guess AT&T has stopped it, and the other ones are going to stop it in the next few months. They said there's a lot of trucks still with this old service on them. So what's John Lennon to up these days? Yeah, nothing. Elvis would be 87 this year. See? Could still be alive. Queen's 95. Why couldn't Elvis still be out there? He could. Probably be retired. Probably had some kind of Teamster pension and retired. At 65, 67, collecting that pension. No problem. He still makes a lot of money from songs. It's usually one of the top 10 earners. So I don't know why that's not possible. Once we saw that misspelling on the tombstone, we knew. Oh, that makes him a decomposing composer. Wow. The alliteration here is deep. Doing a 34 tomorrow and trying to get some content done for my channel, Midlife Trucker. All right, put it out there. Everybody, get something put out there. Let's see, we'll go to that because it's about time to wrap up here anyway. For that channel, let's see, always, and by the way, why are people going around without a headset on their head? I mean, if you wear it, make it a Parrot. Blue Parrot will have a booth down there. They usually have some kind of giveaway. So if you're at the Mid-America Truck Show, go to the Blue Parrot booth and sign up for their giveaway. How about that? GP Transco is here today. They do need a year of experience, but then you can give them a call. All right, how about that? Head over to GP Transco and make some decent money. That's what we all want to do. So I need to go right to here. Also, Jay. Jay might be at the truck show. I sent him an email. He's there sometimes. So I don't know if he's coming this year. We will see. Otherwise, thanks to Jay anyways. Don't forget about him. Don't you forget about me. That's what he said. Then finally found a way to get away from Yoko. Yeah, that's what we would all do. Where did Elvis work? He did drive a truck. I don't know what company it was, but he actually was a truck driver. So that was like his first career or something, truck driving. That is a true story. Following too close and moving too fast through the ice, and then we got 15 trucks in an accident, and we say, oh, it's cars causing accidents. If you crash into all these vehicles that are stopped in front of you, it's you. It's you. You are too close. If you have to be a half a mile, then that's how close it is, or however far to be able to stop. Back everybody up some. TMZ claimed had a report claiming someone to be Elvis, and his DNA is 98% of the same Elvis family. He's in some kind of hospital. Well, that's not that. I mean, we're only 97% of like a chimpanzee, like a right turn Clyde. So, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. No, I don't understand it. I think it was spelled with one A on the tombstone and it's two A's on the tombstone and it's supposed to be one. Whatever it is, it's misspelled on the tombstone. That's for sure. That came out right away, that it's misspelled. So that's one way we know. And he was a truck driver. We do know that. That is a true story also. So absolutely. And me seeing him in a shower in Tennessee makes perfect sense. Canadians have time to get back to work. They're rushing to make money. Yeah, before they get all their trucks taken. They closed, 30 or 40 companies down up there? They did say that were in the Ottawa thing. The government pulled their registrations. Yep. How about that? That went a long way from 14 days to slow the spread to do what we tell you or we'll lock all your money up. I've seen Ron Jeremy look alike at the man. Oh, really? Impressive. Hairy. Have a great day, Mark Paul Cruz. Keep the rubber side down. I'm going to try to, and hopefully this week will be better than the last couple of weeks. It's about when you get in your extreme upper 30s, they run in these long days where you got a split sleeper to get back and run all this time. I mean, it's tough on you. Aaron is right according to TMZ. All right. I mean, the guy that runs TMZ is the guy from the People's Court, so he ought to know. So otherwise, we do have to wrap up here. So keep the manhole down and covered too until you need to use it. Right, until you're going in it. Paul Cruz was here, right? Thank you for coming. Keltarusu Travels, I appreciate you being here. Joe was here today. Joan Harper, thank you for being here. Enjoy the warm weather. By the way, it's going to be 64 here on Saturday, Joan, so you might see 70 degrees. Won't that be a nice day? Michael Swift was here. Thank you very much for being here. Midlife Trucker, Tom Bell. People should go enjoy that channel, and thank you for being here. We'll look for that new content coming out soon. Roger Penske was here today. John M., Jordan B., and Michael Swift. How about that? The best group ever. Flat Highway, thank you for being here. Two Wookiees and a Pancake, one of the favorite names on YouTube, was here today. Al Johns was here. Not crushing dreams like normal. I appreciate it. Although sometimes we have to do that. 421 was here today. Thank you for being here. Columbia George was here today. Chris 7601, Mr. Someone was here. But John Albert, Tommy Cash, Acceleration Rules, big group today. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to head on out and see what they're doing over at work today. Dope Law. They're probably like, hey, you're going to work a full week of work? I'm like, shut up. So that's probably how that will go. Like Sam and Night Ranger. And let's see here. So I'm going to do this. Oh, and that. And move that. But I'm going to head on out of here. So thank you, everyone, for being here. And everybody keep the rubber side down, right? More videos and everything else to come this week. So thanks for being here. And